Boys, welcome.
I'm going to save this one background screensaver.
The map? We could probably talk about the map too. Welcome, Christian, JP. We're in. Christian and I have done one. We actually did a podcast a little while ago, a few months back, and then technical issues and a few other problems. But we're back.
We're here now.
We are.
Good to be back.
Talking to your mic a bit?
Been a while.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, we're good. We're good. Boys, wow, 2020 is almost done.
I can't believe we're in December already. I actually can't.
Swear to God,
It has been the craziest year.
I thought we would have slowed down, like the year would have stopped because of the pandemic. Everything would have got slower. It's like it just tripled and just went through the roof. It's crazy.
I remember when they announced the pandemic in March, like it was yesterday. Like it was,
And we thought 8 weeks done.
Oh my God.
It's December.
Look what's happened in the last, what was it, March? Almost, 7 months or so?
Yeah.
6, 7 months? It's been a fucking mental year across the world.
I actually don't even know where we start this. Like Melbourne goes into lockdown for what? It's almost 3-4 months.
4 months.
Bro, Melbourne's lockdown was like scary. It was like Hitler shit, like dictatorship, bro. Like you can't leave your house. You're more than this many kilometers from your residence. Why are you here? Yeah. People from media being trampled on by police. See that Avi Yemeni?
Yeah.
See that?
He copped it.
Did you watch? Have you actually
I didn't watch it all,
bro? I watched the whole, like all of the clips that he did.
Yeah.
He goes through the checkpoints, shows the media staff, goes through everything, follows the process. He's like by the book, and then the cop just looks at him. He goes, "He's not meant to be," something like that, and they just jump on him. And he's joking. He's laughing at him. Going, "I thought he thought it was a joke."
He's taking him to court, eh?
He's taken him to the Supreme Court. Yeah, I think he'll win for sure.
100%.
He'll win
100%.
because they were using, bro, the tactics they were using to scare people. And the shittest thing that really pissed me off was when, like, people would go and protest against the lockdown and they'd get handled. But when they were protesting Black Lives Matter, the cops were kneeling with them. Like a month before.
If that's one thing that people haven't woken up and been like, all right, this is the biggest load of fucking bullshit. You can go and protest Black Lives Matter. You're not going to get sick. You're all right. Go and protest it. But as soon as you try and protest against these lockdowns, mate, that's a violation. That's a federal crime. You can go to prison for that. I was watching videos. A guy took his bins out past curfew.
See how it's laughable?
He was on his own property. He didn't even step onto the fucking footpath outside his house. He just took his bins out. There was a cop driving by on the street, and they nabbed him.
$1,600 fine, eh?
Bro,
something like that.
The fuck is that?
It's crazy, bro. I can't get, like, a lot of the times when we were talking about this months ago, people were telling to me, relax, bro. It's in Australia. It's not going to happen here. Nothing. No. And then slowly but surely, we saw it unfold here. We just saw it play out. You know, particularly Melbourne. Melbourne was the wake up call.
Melbourne was, I think, the worst in the world.
If you're from Melbourne, my heart goes out to you because you guys went through some shit,
bro.
You guys went through some absolute.
Are they through it?
But yeah, they came out the other side.
They still have to wear masks in public.
Yeah. But like, think about that. You own a house. You have a backyard. You're not allowed in your own backyard after 8 o'clock.
Was that the law?
You can't go outside.
No.
1 hour of exercise.
No, but in your own house?
In your own house. I'm pretty
Solitary
sure.
confinement.
No, we've got to confirm that. We've got to look that up.
Please, if I'm wrong about that one, please tell me I'm wrong. But
I would be very surprised if a cop knocked you and said, "Mate, were you just outside?"
But
in your backyard?
They're doing this thing where you got to protect
your neighbours.
No. You're not dobbing your neighbours, bro. You're protecting your neighbours.
You're protecting the community, bro.
Protecting the community.
It's safety, man.
It's safety.
That's right. I forgot it's safety. It's all about safety. Melbourne lockdown.
Yeah.
Laws.
All right. Let's see if they've got anything. They might have wiped it.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised because Dan Andrews is at the helm of that state. To impose a law where you can't leave your own fucking house in your own premises.
Brother, they congratulated the bloke. He did a good job, apparently.
Well, as you were saying, Black Lives Matter has a march.
And the cops are kneeling with them.
And then they're bashing the fuck out of them in their own
houses. You say a month before, they were kneeling with them for solidarity for Black Lives Matter. And then the same police were in the homes of their citizens, arresting them for sharing, not even attending, sharing a fucking a protest. Yeah. A conspiracy to protest. Yeah. They got arrested in their own homes. They got arrested in their houses.
Pregnant woman, all this kind of stuff. Like,
bro, Look, I'm not sitting here saying people should go out and party and lick the town when it's pandemic on. But if you're going to allow people to protest mid-pandemic, you can't stop other people from protesting. Exactly. If I wanted to go and protest that goats should not be killed for whatever reason I feel necessary, I shouldn't be penalised.
100%.
But that was a complete like double line, or what do they call it?
Double standard.
Double standard. That's the word.
Like,
because bro. Well, that's exactly what it was, man. They applied the rule because I actually think it was a politically correct angle. They were like, look, the rest of the world is protesting. We need to get behind it. We need to sort of show that we are a part of it, because people in Belgium were protesting. So if Belgium's protesting and Australia is not, I think this is where it all came from.
You had 1 million people protesting the streets of Germany.
Crazy.
1 million people
For Black Lives Matter?
The lockdown. Anti-lockdown, bro.
For lockdown.
That's what
Yeah. And I think they I can't remember. I stopped following the world a lot. Like I started, before I actually woke up to this stuff, I was following the virus around the world, seeing who's copping it the worst, what's going on. And then I woke up and I stopped paying complete attention to all of that bullshit. And I really paid attention to the facts. One thing that people forget to realize is pay attention to what is not being said.
Yeah.
Because we're always paying attention to what we're being told in the news, right? Oh, it's go here, do this, wash your hands. This has popped up, the virus here, blah. But we're actually not paying attention to what's not being said. And that's the scariest thing about this whole virus. Even where churches were closed, gyms were closed, but Woolworths wasn't closed.
Yeah. Or the bottle-o.
Don't forget,
you go buy your booze.
No, your booze can stay open. Yeah, that's right.
Get drunk in your own home. It's safe.
Yeah, heaps safe.
See what I mean, bro?
Stay home, save lives.
Yeah,
stay home, save lives.
Like there was no focus on mental aspect, mental health. There was no focus on general well-being. Like you never saw one dietitian, not one healthcare professional step up and say, "Listen, guys, make sure you get your vitamin D. Make sure you get your vitamin C."
That's blasphemy.
Guys,
what are you saying?
But when they did, what did they
you probably got silenced.
Banned them.
You probably
all over social media.
That's not approved by the World Health Organization.
The World Health Organization is probably the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest question mark on them as an organization. First thing that we have to mention is Trump pulled funding of $500 million. Pretty much straight off. March or April he pulled it, I think.
Early. It was very early.
Real early, bro. And he realised that they were either in bed with China or they probably still are, or whatever the fuck was going on. But the World Health Organization, let's break that down. The World Health Organization are not saying to take vitamins or to get sunshine. No.
We've got a cure coming, guys.
Can you believe that, bro? I was listening to Rogan, Dave Chappelle. I don't know if you've heard that one. He was talking about happy lights. Have you heard about happy lights?
No.
They're overseas. I don't think they're here yet. No. They're UV lights for your home. So you get the UV radiation that you get from the sun without having to leave your home. Because that is the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard of.
That's just hearing that now.
Oh my God. All right, if you lived in like Alaska where you get 3 months of no sun, please invest in thousands of them. But if you live in fucking America or anywhere that the sun is...
If you live in Australia where you probably get UV light in your own home, through the walls, double brick, you don't need them. It's not something you should invest in.
Bro, it's crazy. They sell these products and people buy them.
It's funny how it all came as soon as the lock... It's like it was...
There was money,
I don't want to say pre-planned,
to be made, man. There's money to be made. Masks became a business. Sanitizer became a business. I have Tom, Dick, and Harry on my Instagram selling bottles of sanitizer, $400.
Every time you go to the servo now.
Yeah.
They've got toilet paper for $20 and they've got 4 rows of different sanitizers when you're just paying for your fuel.
Unbelievable.
Crazy, bro. That stuff, it's if you ever do it and then actually like wipe your hands or wash your hands, all you're doing is just like smushing around the germs, right?
That's right.
You're just putting disinfectant around it, but you're not erasing it. You're just doing that, right? You have to wash your hands.
You have to wash. But the thing is, like, think about
you're meant to wash in the grooves to actually clean yourself properly.
Think about how many times a day now they got you going somewhere. Desanitize.
And it's everywhere too.
It's killing the natural protection that your body has. Like your body has all these built-in immunities to it.
100%, bro.
It's killing like the natural process.
Well,
if they're telling you to wear a mask and telling you to do all these things that we know aren't good for you, I had to, like you said, I had to even start questioning: is everything that they're saying wrong and this is right?
Well, have you seen the video, the photo of people in an orchestra playing their instruments, and they've got masks on, but they've cut a little mouth hole for their instruments.
It's like,
I just don't know anymore, man. I don't know anymore. But I just Googled something. So I just Googled how many times do we touch our face, right? On average, each of the 26 Bird students touch their face 23 times per hour, right? So you touch your face 23 times an hour. Now, if we're talking about germs and spreading diseases and all this stuff, if on the average person this can't just use this. I'm not gonna do what I don't do.
Just a quick Google search.
But just a quick.
Yeah. Overall,
Let's just use this as the point of discussion.
Yeah.
It might not be true. 23 times an hour. If we're touching our faces all the times, and we're in the middle of a pandemic, and we're putting your hands on your mask, and your mask is your breathing device, bro, it defeats the purpose.
100%.
It defeats the purpose. The other thing I didn't get was these respirator masks where you can blow through them. Like if you have a lighter and you have the mask on, the flame goes out. Is not the particles? Am I wrong?
It's supposed to be some sort of filtration. So it's funny you actually say this because I don't know who was telling it. It was an old mate of mine from high school. It was when Tesla was first coming out. Apparently, in some of the first Tesla models, I don't know if it's still got it. They had like bionuclear mode. Yeah, where like
bionuclear mode,
something like that. You press this button and it would filter out 99.9% of particles outside of your car.
In the car.
What's it called again?
Type in
Tesla.
Tesla. What would it?
What did you say? Bio
Defense mode, maybe bioweapon defense mode. Let's see.
Yeah,
there you go.
fitter. There it is. Fitter.
So
World Health Organization.
This is 2016. That article's from May 2016.
That's pretty much what you was talking about.
So it's something that's built in, but that's what it's saying. Oh, we've got these filters in your mask. You still breathe out of them. I don't know if you've seen it now. Some of the UFC fighters had their own like
that thing that goes around their neck.
Tactical mask or something like that.
I've seen that.
So like it became this whole business, and it's like people capitalize on people's fear. There was so much fear being spread. And you come out the other side of it, and you look at some of the reports. It's the flu.
The flu numbers are down. They're almost decimated.
No. The flu didn't exist this year, bro. Packed its bag, went on a holiday.
Well, COVID came and said, "Hey, I'll cover you for a year."
Yeah,
and flu said, "You know, I'm going to the Bahamas. Fuck off."
Like, there's no more flu this season. No one caught a cold. But if you went to the doctors and you had symptoms of a cold, mate, look, you might have COVID. You might have to isolate for 14 days.
Hey, I'll tell you what happened. I had an experience at the hospital. I don't know if we've spoken about this.
No, I don't think we did.
My son was running a really high fever, like in August. He was over 38.
I think I remember.
And we were freaking out a little bit. My missus rang the midwife. For those of you that don't have children, midwife is when you go to the hospital and you deliver the baby.
You got a newborn?
Yeah, no, he's one now. But the midwives, they stay as your point of contact if you're not sure about stuff. Anyways, she calls the midwife. Midwife's like, "Look, just take him to the hospital." We put him in the car. He falls asleep, and we're driving them. Like, "Look, I don't want to take him. Let's just go home. I don't want to take him. I got goosebumps, man. I don't want to take him."
Yeah.
We get to the hospital, go outside, walk straight through. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. Walk into the hospital, and there's a woman sitting at the triage desk, like a big woman sitting there. She's not wearing a mask or nothing. We're talking, whatever. We finish up, we go through everything. Yep, no worries. I get up to walk in with my wife. She goes, "Sorry, one parent alone allowed." I said, "Why?" She goes, "Well, we can't because if the virus and all this stuff." Now, I tried not to make a scene because I just wanted my son to get looked at by a doctor.
Course, yeah.
And I was like, middle of a pandemic, the state of mind that I'm always in, which is like, fuck everything. I don't trust nothing.
Yeah.
I'm waiting outside a hospital. I can't even sit inside the hospital. I have to wait outside. It's 4 in the morning. I'm pacing up and down, waiting for my phone to ring. My wife calls me. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Honestly, bro, it really cut me deep what I had to go through just then. Because if something had to happen right then and there, that was an emergency and I wasn't there, I would have blown the hospital up. I would have lost my mind. Yeah. So I shouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have blown the hospital up. But it was a figure of speech. Don't take it personal. No, so the whole time, and so basically, by the time we were starting to come out, my son had to do a COVID test. They weren't going to let her leave with him. If he didn't do the test, she had to self-isolate for 2 weeks because he wasn't going to do a COVID test. So she ended up doing the test. I started walking back into the hospital. This is after 5 o'clock now to go and get them from the door. And now the nurses had set up this station outside of the hospital. Have you been to any of these locations? This and that. Yeah. You have to wear a mask. Check your temperature. I go, "I'm not wearing a mask." Yeah. They go, "You have to." I said, "No, I don't." I said, "That woman right there isn't wearing a mask." And I just walked straight into the hospital. I grabbed my family, walked out. But when I now thinking about it and like digesting what actually happened, bro, like removing me from the equation didn't do anything
at all,
right? Because I could have had the virus, given it to my wife. She could have fucked the whole hospital.
Given it to whoever was sitting outside the
Correct.
hospital. Like, you know what
Correct.
I mean?
There's no measure to determine whether that's They just did that because that's what somebody made a subjective decision to make that call. There's no logic behind it, right?
There's no logic behind it at all.
Zero.
I went through something similar, but on the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Right.
We're working on a construction site.
Yeah.
Now, everyone's gone into lockdown over the course of the year.
Except for
March,
construction.
April, March,
Builders
and
are
April.
immune.
We picked up.
We picked up. We got busier.
Sweet. See?
So everyone stay at home. If you work at a bank, if you work in an office, you work from home. You set up your shop and you work from home. But if you work in construction,
With 100 Chinese drip rockers.
you guys have immunity. You have immunity. You won't get sick. You're only working on top of each other. You're only sweating. You're only coughing. You're only breathing in dust from everywhere.
Yeah.
But you aren't getting sick.
And
It's fine.
asbestos. Don't forget asbestos.
Oh man, it was a joke.
No, that was it.
From that point, I knew that whatever was going to happen over the next 6 months has been the biggest fallacy the world has ever
You
seen.
got to lift your mic just a little bit. Sorry.
And that's just one. That's just like one crack through this whole COVID thing of many.
But that's so true, JP. It's so true, cuz.
Man, second site I went to, they're like, all right, we're going to try and enforce masks. Everyone laughed at the safety officer and said, we're not wearing fucking masks.
Have you seen people exercising with masks?
No.
I've seen a few people do.
The
things
only
with
time in
masks,
my
right?
life, besides 2020, I've seen people exercising mask is high level athletes training with altitude masks.
Yeah.
Right? Which is also a questionable tactic for training. There's been reports that it's not the best thing for you and all this
Yeah,
other stuff.
yeah,
But
like-
anyways,
yeah.
high altitude training is the only form of mask exercise that I've ever seen until this year. Until they awaken the fucking masses of sleepers that don't know what's going on.
I was doing a job last week. I had to wear a mask for 2 hours. As soon as I took that off, I was like, I don't know how.
Yeah,
the
I've seen
fuck
that
people
on
are-
what's his name on Chad's.
Chad's
Shout
I
out
don't
to
know
Chad.
I don't know how people are wearing
Yeah,
this.
what were you doing with asbestos,
We're doing
right?
with asbestos.
Okay, so this is a great example. You had from your fingernails to your fucking toenails covered.
Yeah, I was
right?
in a full suit.
Full suit. I saw it.
Full suit.
The only reason I knew it was you because of the way you were dancing.
Yeah.
But you're wearing a full suit,
Yeah.
goggles, mask, head protection.
Everything.
Now, fast forward to, sorry, not fast forward, but let's just apply the pandemic to what you were wearing. You probably would have fit in perfect. That's what everyone should be wearing, right?
Yeah.
If we're going to be real, if the
it's as
virus
bad as they're saying.
sticks to surfaces, remember then the reports are coming out saying that it sticks on cardboard for this long and metal for this
Yeah.
long.
Oh my god.
And people opening doors like this, trying to open doors with their
What do you
fucking
mean?
elbows.
People high fiving with elbows. Hey bro, how's it going?
Windows up, mask on
Yeah.
by themselves
Oh
in the
my
car.
God.
That's the
I
killer.
walk
Oh
up
my
to people
God.
now like this and
I
they do
still
this.
see people do that.
And they do this.
I still see
And I
people
just
do
go like this and I go in for the... Because
Do what you want, but it hurts my heart.
it does. It does.
It truly does.
Because you know what? I think they're really cutting down the human to human interaction, right? We've moved to a digital world already.
Yeah.
Even if anyone wants to disagree or not, you can't deny the facts. We moved to the digital world, like to the point where your phone you can pay a bill, you can organize a route, you can get an Uber there,
Everything.
you can buy drugs, you can buy whatever the fuck you want now.
I average 5 hours a day on my phone.
Yeah, I think most people would probably
Do
do
you
the
know what
same
I mean?
thing.
So like,
yeah.
that's
But like you've become so interconnected with it.
Correct.
It's become such a part of your life that you become dependent on it now.
Correct.
And
But why is that though? Like all right, if you want to get somewhere, it's got navigation.
Yeah.
You need music, it's got it.
It's a one-stop shop for
Audio
everything
books,
you need.
phone calls,
Literally.
work.
Literally.
Uber Eats, everything.
Like you could be in the other side of the world and you could still operate your phone the same way, just with a
Probably
different
still
currency.
Operate your business.
100%.
Off your phone.
Depending on what
You know
business
I mean?
you run. But you're
Yeah.
right, 100%.
Yeah.
We've moved to a digital world where we're already encouraging people to stop human to human interaction, right? And this pandemic has literally just set that onto another course.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like, don't go near anybody. Everyone's sick. Everyone's a germ.
You gotta
Don't.
be careful in public.
Yeah, you got to be
But
careful in public.
In a line, I'm just like, I'm a meter away. I was like, this guy gonna get angry?
Cause
Oh,
what about
I've seen that. I was in a line at a fishbowl in Bondi. Shout out to Fishbowl. I took one step forward past the line that was taped on the floor, and this
Someone had a
lady,
backflip.
This lady turned around, gave me this death stare to send me straight to hell. Like I tried to
Yeah.
kidnap her kid or something.
Yeah.
I just took a step back. I
Step
was
back.
like,
Sorry.
Yeah, and I never stand on those markers. I can't. I can't be that fucking dude that stands on the green marker.
even
Woolworths.
I'm to the side. I can't give that satisfaction.
No. I'm either in front, behind, or
I
I can't.
stand
No.
on it.
I'm not going to conform to your fucking blue dots, you idiots, or whatever they green dots.
my God.
All right. It's not. Again, it's if you. There's something so small as those dots. If you refuse to follow that suit, I refuse to because it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
Because if I do that, then I'll just do everything else that they want you to do. Because
100%.
I haven't seen enough evidence to show me that what measures they said would work have worked. Like I know, like staying home is probably the only thing
Exactly right.
to stop any sort of spread,
But
right?
even then, it's not even like there's cases where like it's just dependent on the person. Now, I'm not saying the virus doesn't exist. I'm not saying people aren't dying from it. There are people dying from it. But go back and look at the numbers of people who died from the flu in 2018, 2017, not even last year. Last year's too close.
Yeah.
Okay? Last 10 years.
Yeah, historical data, won't lie.
Historical data, won't
Definitely.
lie. The numbers, people dying from flu and people who have died from COVID this year alone, we're much lower. We're much lower just based on COVID. So like, they've made this big fuss over something that's always been deadly to some people. Some people, they're calling me, oh, you know, it's real. I don't know how you're not stressed out about this. People get scarring and lung tissue. It's long-term effects. How the fuck can you know it's long-term effects?
Could we not?
It's been 2 months.
Yeah.
It's not long-term. Go and look at someone who got the flu severely and look at their long-term damage. It's exactly the same.
But let me ask you something. If, like, again, but what data are we really using here to determine what the truth is? What data?
Their data.
Because exactly. Because they'll say, oh, this guy died. He had cancer, but he got COVID just before cancer, so COVID's the cause of death.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, the guy was suffering for 5 years from cancer, but all of a sudden he caught COVID and that's the reason of death? No, because if he was healthy, he would have been all right. This is where the data misappropriation becomes a problem, where people will just go, no, look at the numbers, look at the numbers, look at the infection rates, look at the numbers of people in the hospitals, ICU.
Yeah.
You remember the thing in Melbourne where they said that Frankston Hospital was overrun with patients and they showed footage from an international hospital?
From Italy. Yeah,
Italy hospital,
I'll never
Italian
forget
hospital.
that.
Like, why aren't these talking points, bro?
No, but there was a guy there. A guy went to Frankston Hospital and he goes, where's the fucking people? Where are you?
That's what I mean.
It's quiet.
There was a movement on some social media, I think it was Twitter, where people were going to their hospitals and saying, where's all the people? Like, they're
Well, they
telling
should,
us they're
bro.
overrun.
There needs to be more accountability from the people above us telling us this is happening.
But you can't even trust them anymore. Like everybody who's had a serious, honest to God think and look at this virus knows what it was about. There was an election. There was a clear, you know, if we look at what's going on now in the United States with the election and the results and the fraud that's been going on, you can see how everything has been kind of shifted to make Trump look like he failed as a president over the last year, and it made it look like Biden had this whole thing set up.
He's saved everyone. That's
the
what they're
day
making out,
it's,
yeah.
I found it so funny, and there's a couple of things that were really, really interesting. The day that we found out that Biden was going to be president-elect, we had sudden companies already. Oh, we've got a cure for the virus.
Yeah.
We've got a cure now.
President-elect too, not
The
President
company,
of the United States.
the company that announced it, Pfizer, I've learned recently, are actually part of the US 30. The US 30 is something that you can invest in the stock market. It's the top 30 companies of the US. Pfizer is one of those companies. Microsoft is one of those companies. So you
There's just a connection there.
follow the paper. Follow the paper.
Always follow the paper.
Always follow the
Always.
paper.
Hey, the paper never lies,
So I
man.
just learned that, and already the connection was
Yeah.
like, oh my
Oh my
lord.
God.
Well, see, all these big companies, like, oh, you know, as a great example, let's use Australia, Qantas.
Oh,
Qantas,
That
okay?
was big.
Qantas, great example. So, first things first. Let's just go back away from the virus for a second. Qantas were Alan Joyce, like open homosexual, right? Pushes the homosexual agenda quite hard, right? Which is it's his business. He can do what he likes. But we always forget that Qantas, I wouldn't say are funded by the government, but supported by the government. Like Qantas is our biggest airline, right? So the government bailed them out when all this shit happened. Oh yeah. The government bails them out, and then the COVID thing, right? Alan Joyce gets what's his name? I don't fucking know his name. Leprechaun gets on the television and says, "Oh yeah, we're going to make changes to our terms and conditions for vaccine for international travel." You're like, well, bro, are you just doing the government's bidding for you? Is this what you're doing? Are you just trying to make it normal? Are you just trying to make... Because I'm not flying Qantas anymore. I'll tell you that. They can go fuck themselves.
I found it very common for big companies and the government to be
Right,
tied together.
right. So you look at anything with vaccines, Pfizer, but all these big companies, the government uses them to push their agenda because the government's already got enough fucking shade on them because people don't trust the government. So it's trust these companies that are sort of aligned in a way.
They've built trust with us
Yeah.
over the
And-
years,
and-
so we don't even question
Did
it.
you ash in this?
no, I didn't.
This is a crystal glass rolling tray.
Don't you dare disrespect.
Don't you disrespect them, RJ. So Qantas, bro, do the government's bidding, and this is my opinion. This is not a fact. Like I have to say that, man. They do their bidding for them to get people. It's like this. All right, now we've got to start thinking vaccine travel. Fuck it, I'll just do it. And this is what's people. It's people that are travel. Like, bro, I love traveling. I'm more than happy to look at Australia for the next 30, 40 years, however long I got left.
Yeah.
I don't give a
look,
fuck.
Yes.
We got a big country, and no one ever sees it because we're worried about what's going on in Europe. But
I'm
here's
looking
the
at a
thing.
van at this point.
Here's the thing.
Definitely.
Right,
Caravan,
Here's
I
the
already
thing
have.
that no one's aware about. And now I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%. I don't want to stick that needle in me at all.
No.
Okay, but the fact of the matter is that as soon as we're born, you're plugged with a bunch
Different,
of
bro.
vaccines. Different, 100%. I agree with you.
Very different.
But
Very
there's
different.
already laws where if you are not vaccinated with those vaccines, you can't travel.
No, there are laws. No, sorry, I shouldn't say no. You're probably right about the laws with vaccine travel. I've traveled to Thailand, Lebanon, never got any shots, never got nothing,
Neither
all
have I,
right?
Fuck, I never thought about that.
The vaccines when we're born, so when you're a child, the first shot they give you is actually vitamin C. It's literally for your immune system.
Yeah.
The next one, there's a vaccine schedule. They get, I think it's
Aren't you
Vitamin
you're
C?
plugged with something like 20 needles?
No,
That's what they tell us.
No, no, it's-
Because at
it's
this
not-
point, I'm questioning everything.
Look, I looked at the vaccine schedule because I got a 1-year-old. I just had to do his 1 year vaccines, right? Vaccines.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I'm not one that's against them, and I'm not for them. I'm on the fence, and I'll tell you what I'm on the fence about. History has shown that the vaccines that we've been taking have worked. Like we've actually eradicated a few diseases because of vaccines.
But up until recent times.
Now, where I stop and draw the line on vaccines is the COVID vaccine. Because a vaccine needs 5 to 7 years for trial, for deployment.
That's right.
They need case studies. They need you to take it, run off for 5 years and come back and say, hey, I feel all right. So they can actually report on that
That's
data.
exactly right.
To accelerate this and to see clinical trials where people are getting hurt and injured repeatedly, one after another, there's just not enough data for me to feel comfortable.
And it's
ever.
been, what, 9 months?
You
10
got to
months?
think. You got to think about like what are the after effects? You know what I mean? Like,
Of course, bro.
What if there is no sudden effect to us now or in our kids' generation? But what if 3 years down the line or 3 generations down the line, suddenly you have increased rates of infertility. Suddenly you have increased rates of cancer.
What if the vaccine is deployed to kill your sperm, bro? You don't know.
Yeah,
We have no, really?
Yeah.
We have no idea.
Yeah.
And
no
all
idea.
the vaccine makers are not liable. They have
That's
no
right.
liability.
That's right.
So this is a crazy thing. They inject something into you just so you can make them happy.
That's right. But there's no risk.
But there's
sign
no
off on
risk,
it.
yeah.
You sign off on it. So the funny thing is, I watched the video and I think you might be thinking about the same video I'm thinking about. But I always refer back to construction. It's what I know. Construction's, it's pretty much a good explanation. You can look at it to reflect on the world.
Definitely.
But safety when you're in the upper levels of construction is the biggest thing.
Correct.
The budgets on safety, ridiculous. But the reason the budgets on safety is so ridiculous is because if you are found to be in breach of any of these rules and you're putting lives at risk during work, the fines are fucking massive.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Companies go bust over injuries. Companies get shut down, you know, and people crumble over safety issues. Like you could be running a perfectly legit company, but you have a death on your site and it ruins your whole business.
Yep, that's true.
Okay? But the reason that there is so much money in an effort to, prevent safety issues is because there is a repercussion, there is a fine. But when you go on to take these vaccines, you sign off on a bit of paper that you're taking the vaccine, but at the same time, you're signing off that whatever happens to you. Like, that's it.
It's
right.
You can't.
It's like
go
signing
back
off on a
to-
roller coaster when you jump on a roller coaster, right?
Man,
It's the same thing.
If no one's liable, they're not putting any effort and they're not worrying about your safety. They're not worrying about your health.
They want to be honest, I personally think that you might have a lot. I personally think that it's not a mic here. You got to keep passing it.
Sorry, bro.
No, I put look. What could happen with this, right? This could be a very far-fetched theory, but it just came to my mind literally right now. What if this vaccine? What if they're trying to get people to take it so they can use those people as the data for the future? As in, like, all right, they need 20% of the population to take it, so that in 5 years' time we can actually see if it's done anything. That way, they can really deploy the vaccine.
That's right. They've got to. It's going to take a couple of years to roll out the
Correct.
vaccine to everyone.
Look, the vaccine, don't get it twisted. The companies producing this are making a mint out of it, right? So they want to get it right, and they want to work with the government to get it right.
100%.
This is why if you're a Pfizer or something like that, you're licking your lips right now. You want this vaccine. You don't care how long it
100%.
takes. So they're going to work with the government and literally make sure that this is deployed the right way. And I personally think, it just came to me, it could be a fucking possibility that they want this many people to take it. They're pushing hard on it because they need data from it to actually start making it work in the future. But, bro, in saying that,
From everything I've seen, No chance. From the type of people trying to employ and push out the vaccine, I can't say.
But look,
that's why they're doing it.
But don't get me wrong. I think that there are actual, genuine scientists that are working for these companies
100%.
that want to produce a vaccine.
But bro,
No doubt about it.
let me ask you something,
But I don't think they're going for a job interview and they look at these companies and they go, I'm going to go work for this mega evil corporation. They look at it and they're like, you know what? I'm studying to be a doctor. They probably have families who've had histories of
Good
diseases.
people.
They're very good people
100%.
and they want to make a vaccine. We could be completely wrong and they could have. They could have. No, I'm all right,
I think. Look,
but the thing is,
That's discipline.
there
It is.
That's good. The thing is, like, it's been rushed. Yeah, and no one can doubt that it's been rushed.
9 months?
Nothing
I
in
think 10
history,
months.
anything you rush in history, nothing works. You have to take your time, especially with a vaccine. The vaccine, what I've learned, I think this is correct with the Moderna vaccine. This is different. This isn't actually giving you COVID. Like if you take the flu shot in Australia, you're given the actual flu, and your body defense mechanism fights it off. What I think is the situation with the COVID vaccine is that it's a Moderna vaccine, which is not. It doesn't deploy COVID into your body. It makes your body think that it's got COVID.
That's right.
So it's like a
triggers
fake
your immune response.
Correct. It's like, and it actually it helps your body build the proteins to fight
That's
it.
right.
So it's a fake version of COVID. So for people that don't really understand vaccines are literally just a trial run for your body for when they actually get the flu. Because we're all going to get the flu or something like that. It's just giving your body, hey, this is a practice run, yeah? Just know this is what's coming if you... It's literally all it is. That's why I don't push hard on the vaccines for my son. I cried the last vaccine.
Yeah.
I hate it, bro.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing to
Yeah,
watch.
I can imagine.
I just wanted to rip their heads. I wanted to separate their heads from their bodies. I was so angry and filled with so much rage.
Especially after learning everything.
Of course,
this
bro.
year was massive.
Like it's your kin, it's your son, it's
exactly
your
right.
blood,
But
it's your
the thing
seed.
is, it's this isn't like a little thing. It's literally the health of your son. Like it's completely warranted. You know what I mean?
Correct.
There's going to be a vaccine that they push on every single person on Earth. I want a little bit more confidence. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. To me, over 7 billion doses. Like that's 100% of the population you're rolling it out on. You need more. You need more data. You haven't even tested it. You can't even say you've tested it on close to 1% of the population of the Earth.
Well, bro, the crazy thing. So with vaccine and just talking to that. What is actually mandatory is in Australia. I think there's nothing that's mandatory. But if you want to send your kid to a childcare centre, so there are certain childcare centres that don't have vaccinations, but predominantly all of them, you need to have some sort of vaccine schedule. It would not surprise me if they integrate COVID into that in the future, right? Because it's going to just be another flu shot, right? That's how they're going to look at it. Whereas where I'm really torn about this whole thing, bro, we don't know the origin, right? We don't know the origin. I'm sure over the years, like the Spanish flu and all these other things that we've dealt with, the SARS issue and then the swine flu issue, we had the point of reference. I could look it up, but I'd just rather not waste the time. I'm pretty sure from memory, there was an origination point of all these viruses. I also know viruses mutate over time.
Yeah.
But the way that the COVID virus dropped, the timing of it, now looking back at it all, with coinciding with the US election, I just don't. There's not enough evidence. I've spoken to my brother, who's really smart with medicine and science and all this stuff, and he said that what he read was they had armadillos on top of all these rare exotic fucking animals in the wet markets, and those animals were just shitting all over each other, right? So the shit and all the germs were just manifesting, and that is what caused the outbreak of the virus.
Is this for Corona?
This is what my brother was saying. Yeah. He didn't say, "Oh, this is what." He goes, "Oh, this is." Look, my brother isn't a skeptic, but he always looks at the facts. And I speak to him quite a lot about this stuff, particularly about this. And he always just goes to fact and science, and I always make him question everything, and he loves it for it. But
is he older or younger?
Younger.
How old are you?
He's 27.
Okay.
He's 20. No, you want 27? He's 29. Fuck. He's bro. He's real low key. Keeps to himself.
Yeah.
He's a school teacher, science teacher, but very very smart.
Yeah.
Did a few hits at uni. But where I sort of differ with him is on issues like this, because he'll use the reference point from what his knowledge base is, which is like science and medicine, all this sort of stuff. But anyways, he was saying it's a possibility, which could make sense, right? Because they eat fucked up food.
Yeah,
they do eat fucked up food, but there's no one's come out saying this is the evidence, this is it, boom, 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 boom.
It's never been cleared up.
Think about what's happened this year. Think about about the virus now. Can I honestly ask you? How fucking ridiculous, how absolutely ridiculous are the videos you've seen in China of people in the streets just collapsing?
Oh my God.
Do you remember when you were seeing that?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's when
yeah.
You're freaking out about the
Yeah,
bloke?
yeah.
Like knowing what you know about, and you just see these videos of Chinese guys just sitting there and it just
that's,
goes like this.
That's such a good point, JP.
Like that. And there's not been another outbreak in China since. Okay,
JP,
they had videos. They had these fucking.
Oh
do you
my
remember
God,
the videos?
I forgot about
I
those
haven't,
videos.
I haven't seen this video, so I
Christian.
can't comment.
No,
I don't have
bro.
Facebook, so I
Right,
don't
you'll
really
probably
say
be able to
much.
find them. You'll probably be able to find them right now. I don't know if we'll be get copyrighted, but you know, like try
No,
and
we'll
see
be
if you can
right.
find.
We'll be right.
Bro,
look up
they have
people.
videos of these exterminators walking through Beijing, spraying the whole city. Like they sprayed the whole thing. Like videos of like thinking about what we know now. Australia, we don't do any street street exterminations. You know, spraying the whole
Yeah.
city.
No, that's...
And we've reduced it. We haven't had another outbreak. But we're doing all these measures.
100%.
Okay, but we're good. We're lucky. We're on an island. We're isolated anyway. As soon as
Yeah.
we stop international flights, we're safe. We're
Okay,
good.
here's a picture, right? Here's a photo. Christian, there's actually videos, bro. You see the people walk. Now, I don't know if they were using that as an old shit from other...
Bro, you don't know.
Well, bro,
You
they've
don't
done
know.
it before. They've showed.
No,
like,
but you gotta
so-
remember-
so
you
you know
gotta
what I mean?
remember,
Like, can
like
we even
you-
trust what we were seeing?
Yeah, but you got to remember, like nothing comes out of China.
Correct.
Because they're not on the internet.
No, but whatever comes out of China is the CCP wanting us to see. Remember that too,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So they're not going to market to their own people.
Yeah.
But if the rest something's going on, that's
And
why
they're going to benefit.
That's why Trump was giving us so much shit because it's like you were holding off for too long.
what I
You weren't
mean.
giving us information.
And then somehow you've got the largest population on earth. You've got the most dense cities. No one's getting it, and people own acres and acres and thousands of lots of land over in the US, the United States, and it's spreading like wildfire.
Let me. I'll tell you one thing. So my wife's cousin moved to China to work as a teacher. Cracker job, by the way. If you want to go to China and be a teacher, they looked after. But anyways, so his partner lives there. They live there
Yeah.
together. He's now here. He got stuck here. He literally came. His dad passed away. God rest his soul. But he had to come here for the funeral. He got stuck here, man. Can't go back. So every time I talk to him, every time I see him, we just chat about whatever's going on. And he was saying they were on a full, strict lockdown. Like 3 times a day, you could only leave your house. Rubbish, food, rubbish. That was it.
Yeah.
Like it was full strict. But we saw videos where there were people walking in the street, Christian, middle of nowhere,
just collapsing.
drop dead.
Drop dead.
They would. You see people spitting on elevators. It was
Yeah.
like people infected going through China, spreading the virus.
Yeah.
Now, when I saw that, to your point, bro,
Was
I
it legit?
We don't know.
We don't know. So
But this is what the narrative was at the start of
at
it.
the beginning of the whole pandemic. At the
Yeah,
beginning.
remember there was all those
It
videos in the
was-
Wuhan wet markets.
It was
So much-
so
if you
fun.
connect the-
Bro, what about the videos of them? There's actually videos of families just sitting there eating bats. and they go, that's where the virus came from.
Exactly. And then they made, so what happened was then you started seeing people getting racially abused for being Chinese
Oh my
all
God.
over the world, Australia,
Yeah.
America, everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Phase.
Bro, if you thought
Was
the
it the
racism
China
that was,
flu's phase, like
if you
stage?
thought the-
No, this was before Trump's China. This was
When it was
like
starting.
when it started because
Yeah.
it was like, oh, the Chinese. It was blame the Chinese for everything because it was their fault for spreading the virus. I actually remember thinking this. I thought to myself, Wuhan is the epicenter of the coronavirus. Beijing and Shanghai unaffected.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Irrespective of a lockdown,
What?
that place is non-stop, bro.
Can you
China
do me
is
a fa-
non-stop.
Can you do me a favor
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now? Can you just Google the population of Wuhan City?
But see, when you put all these things together, and we know, what we've
11
learned,
million. They got
11
half
million.
the population of
Half the
Australia.
population, nearly half the population of Australia
city.
in one
in
city.
one city.
And you're not telling me that Shanghai and
Yeah,
Beijing
yeah.
were not eaten alive.
Not even.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
And, like
it didn't escape the Wuhan district of China.
this
everyone.
is the crazy thing, man. You know, I've watched a lot of stuff where people reckon. I think it was even a guy on Rogan's podcast. I can't remember who it was when it was. Some people reckon that they were testing a coronavirus in Wuhan. So they were actually they were testing it to try and figure it out, and it broke out.
That's
Like,
what I heard. That was the original story.
that's
I don't
the
know if
narrative.
it's facts,
That's the
but
narrative.
Now, if bro, regardless, we're never going to know the real truth, right?
Yeah.
But whatever the truth is, that many questions that we've just raised should be enough for people to start thinking this is something's up.
Just question it. You know
Just
what I mean?
question it.
Just think about
But
it.
see what they've done. Started from the start of the year with all that, with that one video. Now we're sitting here. We're discussing the vaccine. We're thinking about, are we going to take it or we're not going to take it?
When on, I mean, but
No,
look,
I'm not taking
for a
shit.
vaccine too. People really need to take it if there is a huge issue. Like the flu could kill any of us, right? You can get pneumonia and die. It's a fact. Anyone can get it. Like you can get pneumonia and die. My mate went to Canada. This was years ago. Went outside to have a cigarette. Got pneumonia. Was down to one lung. Nearly died. Almost flew to Canada.
Fuck me.
Promise, bro. I'm not joking. You know Ed Gleb? His mate. You know his cousin Tim?
No.
Okay.
Well, I've had people that's happened to.
Yeah, they went outside to have a cigarette. He got pneumonia in Canada and nearly died.
Yeah.
Right? Now, these things are going to happen, bro. So some people, where you feel, and talks to your, I think this, where everybody needs to start thinking about is literally their own family's health. Like, just because somebody doesn't want to get a vaccine doesn't mean they're not a healthy person. Do you notice that most of the people, and this is please anybody that wears a mask, don't take offense to this.
Don't. They say, you don't
But I've got to say it.
Yeah,
I have to say it, bro.
That's
No, I have to say
but
it.
I know what you mean.
I'm going to say it. The people that are the most cautious about their health, in my personal opinion, from what I've seen, look to be the most unhealthy. That's just what I've noticed in my own. That's not everybody. I've seen some real healthy-looking people wear gloves and masks and all this, but I've seen really unhealthy people like go hard on it, and that it's not making a statement that unhealthy people wear masks. I'm just from what I've noticed, I've noticed that there is it's not just here too. It's sort of across the world, America particularly. The health aspect of our individual lives should be the key to all of this. We shouldn't really, because think about it, if the flu breaks out or anything breaks out, anything goes around, you can't just, we've never been cowardless into our homes or just waiting for things to go. You just live your life, right? Anytime something fucking happens. We're now trained to a point where it's like the vaccine and washing your hands is the only way to be healthy. And it's like, well, guys, no. It's not the only way to be healthy. You look after yourself the right way.
You know what the funny thing is? The virus was called like 3 years ago on QAnon on the actual feed.
Was it?
See, bro,
It was.
I've read a lot of feeds.
I think they were saying something along the lines of there was code for like extinction level event.
I watched a video
like this. And it was actually saying, like, mum's telling me, she goes, there's going to be something where it's going to threaten the entire human race. She was actually telling me, like, I'm remembering this 3 years ago, and then I'm seeing it happen.
See, bro.
They mentioned in Epstein before it happened. They mentioned all this stuff before it happened, and I'm just sitting there, and this movement actually gains the most traction I've ever seen in my life. Okay, obviously I haven't been around that long. I'm not into all of these crazy.
No, but when you read it before it happens, and it's something exactly as it says.
And when there was that many, and like we're talking things that you hear in 2016, and you're actually saying to yourself, "Hey, brother, you're crazy. You're crazy."
Did you see the video? There was a video about a guy. He was literally just recounting a story of where he was. It was like I think 2 hour video or something. And he mentions a point where they talk about the China getting the cold. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
I probably won't be able to find it.
But how many are coming out now?
There's a guy, but the guy literally saying he was at this dinner and he's talking to these people and it was like this big thing. And then they mentioned China catching a cold or China getting a cold. And this video was recorded in 2016 or 2014, something long time, way before. Yeah. And then it makes you fucking wonder, bro, because when you said that, I was like, it's so funny because a lot of those places exist, and you look back at the Q shit, bro, and I don't know, she, whoever it is.
Well, let's say here, you type in QAnon on Instagram, just type
Doesn't come up.
It doesn't come up. There's no pages, and what it says is this search may be associated with dangerous content.
Correct.
Save
the children. Save the children.
Let me tell you about dangerous content. Okay, I was looking through some of these posts that were coming out after the cabinet thing came out. Can you you guys remember the cabinet?
What was it called?
What was it? The
and the BH
I've already
Kids.
forgotten about it because we're not seeing it anymore. The BH Kids and that furniture place in
that
America.
company where you'd order the child.
So I'm looking into it.
How we forget about
I'm looking into it. A friend of mine sends me this post about. Look up on Twitter, megalinks. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. I'm actually, my heart's racing because remember this story and how fucked it was. And I was freaking out thinking that I'm going to get shut down by the police or something like that. They're going to track me or something like that. Bro, megalinks. You look up megalinks on Twitter, there's conversations between people sharing megalinks. And in the megalinks is filled with child pornography, filled with it. And I've actually seen the folders. I've seen the folders. It is ridiculous. Wow. I don't have Twitter. Okay. I don't have Twitter. You go look these up, and I saw these folders, and I saw it. And
maybe don't go look if it's child pornography. Maybe don't go and look it up. But
they're stopping people from becoming aware about this. They're stopping people from sharing information about this. It's been a couple of months since they've blocked everyone on Twitter. And people have forgotten about
Boys,
it.
one thing with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they're all private companies.
Yeah.
So they set the rules however they want. If they have an agenda they'd like to push, by the constraints of the law, they are within their rights to do so.
But
the problem is though, it's damaging.
No, it's damaging more than one way.
It's definitely damaging.
It's
It's
damaging.
controlled.
Bro, it's scary.
There.
It's scary when like
It's controlled. Like
so. Out of Shadows is now completely banned off everything,
that's
right?
right. That's right.
I was trying to send somebody the link in Facebook Messenger. I couldn't even type out of Shadows.
not cuties, but
It wouldn't let me send.
What, the words out
I
of
would
Shadows?
send it and it would go red. Try again. Red. Try. Well, I promise to God, it wouldn't let me send it. I have goosebumps. I promise to God.
why would they not want people to say out of
Bro.
shadows? Just think, ask yourself that question.
Oh man,
Why?
it's that when
So there, like it's so.
when someone I know watches Out of Shadows for the first time, bro, 9 times out of 10, it changes their life.
I swear to
Yeah, but
They-
like,
it changes their life for the
It
right
was
reason.
for the right reason. It was the biggest video of 2020.
And who are Twitter, Instagram, Facebook,
Blocked it.
multi-billionaire companies,
Blocked
right?
it.
Now, if people are still not waking up to really what's going on, my personal opinion and what is going on this pandemic, the virus, is to usher in the new world order, the one world government.
There's no doubt about it.
This is what I think, and we'll pretty much agree there, right? This is where it's going.
did you guys? I know we refer to Joe Rogan, but he's a legend. Did you watch the recent one with Alan Jones and?
Tim Dillon. Oh my god.
So do you remember what he was saying?
Oh,
Do you
wait,
remember what
yes,
he
I
was
did.
saying?
Yes, I
How
did. The 3-hour one.
Yeah.
If
I smoked a lot of
if
joints
Trump
on that one.
if Trump wins, he says something along the lines of, if Trump wins, the Democrats are planning to contact the United Nations to intervene and step into the United States.
Crazy.
And like, you're thinking
He's
about.
been right about a lot of things.
Wait, the problem
You know,
with
he's been front center for protests. He's been front and center.
Has he?
He's losing
I
it.
love him. Hey,
I think
Alex
he's-
Jones.
Yeah.
The problem with him, Rogan says it. He goes, bro, you say so much crazy shit,
Yeah.
and 9 out of 10 things will be right, and you'll say one thing wrong, or you'll
And
get it out of
people
context,
attack
and
you
that's
for-
it. Boom, you
and
get
that's why he
smashed.
shut him up. He shut him up.
Yeah, but
everything he said
correct.
was
He'll
a
also
check.
say things that are crazy that if you dig deep enough, they're not crazy to you.
Well, did you-
But most people don't, and so most people are like, nah.
You saw the one where the last Alex Jones podcast, when they get the audio of that Texas governor saying they use aborted babies' fetuses,
Yeah.
and everyone, and bro, like things like this, that is literally like it sort of it trickles into this crazy shit with the pedophilia and Pizzagate and all this other bullshit. Alex Jones, bro, if you actually watch, he did a really, really good clip on Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what the Bohemian Grove is,
Oh yeah.
I'll get it up.
I'm still yet to watch this video,
boys,
so-
boys,
He absolutely
people.
buried him.
Oh, I've
You
seen
could-
what he says to the guy.
Yeah, you can just tell by watching
I've
that
seen
video.
what he says to the guy, but
that's
I
it.
want to watch the video. Isn't it a movie? What he's gotten?
Yeah, he does. I think he does a couple of things on it,
He's got a camera on him when he breaks
bro.
in.
But what this is here, people, I have to try and get this. I'll get this image up for him. This is the god
Moloch.
Moloch. That's
Moloch.
right. I almost forgot. That's Moloch, right? Now, this is a ritual where it's bigger. This is a ritual where they practice sacrificing. They throw things into the mouth of it. Moloch is the god of you know what? I'm not going to say. I'm just going to Google it.
He's an owl god.
He's a god of, he's a demon of children. Here it is. The biblical name of a Canaanite god associated with child sacrifice. Okay. Now let's just tie in Pizzagate for a second and WikiLeaks. Moloch is mentioned and referenced multiple times in those emails with the Democrat Party, the Clinton Party, the Podesta Party. These people use these and reference these, right? But moving on.
That's facts, by the way.
That's fact. You can see that. We can
Yeah.
look it up now. I don't know. I don't want to get this ripped off. So
no, go keep going.
But this image right here, and we'll get it up for the people at home.
Honestly, if we're talking about equal society and we're talking about secret societies, I'm not comfortable with that.
No, not at all. But the Bohemian Grove, the scary thing about this is what they do. It's
Exactly
all
right.
men.
I'm on the other side of the world from this, and wherever else it's happening. And that I don't know about anyone else, but knowing that people meet in the dark to pretend to sacrifice shit to fucking our gods, even if they are pretending, even if it's twigs,
Here it is.
even if they're doing
Yeah,
it, bro.
that's right.
Look.
I'm not comfortable with that,
That's
bro.
right. And this guy, Alex Jones, was in there, and Alex Jones was saying they have full-blown orgies.
He was once a member.
Like Richard Nixon was a member.
These are our
There he
leaders.
is. Ronald Reagan right there. So this is at the Bohemian Grove. Beautiful redwood trees, bro. They're massive, man. They're like, I don't know how big in diameter.
Have you been over there? Have you?
I haven't seen the redwoods. No, I haven't been to the Bohemian Grove.
I'm just
No,
double-checking.
I'll tell you what.
Not there. Not
No,
there.
no,
I'm just
no.
saying, like, are there red? Have you been to America before? And have you seen
I
redwoods?
wish. No, I
I'm
saw
not
my.
I'm not trying to call you out, but
Fuck it up. No, I was gonna say no. Like I've actually have this fascination with redwoods. I really want to. There's some big trees here. I've gone hiking heaps of times in Ku-ring-gai and one in the Blue Mountains, actually, Falcon Bridge.
That's so good. The Blue Mountains.
Beautiful. There's these massive trees. I actually took photos of them, bro. How high and big they were, and I was saying they actually look a bit like a redwood, but nowhere near as big.
Yeah.
But bro, they are a crazy fucking tree. Just the size of them and how long they live, it's crazy. Anyways, but no, I haven't seen redwoods, but I've been to the Rocky Mountains and seen some fucking crazy shit in the Rocky Mountains.
Oh, Colorado.
Colorado's awesome. Yeah. Look. This is the meeting. This is what
members,
it is outside. And right on this side of the stage is where that Moloch is.
Yeah.
So you watch the documentary about Alex Jones, and he goes into it, and you see what they're doing, and it's very, very hush-hush, very secretive. All these sort of things, the fact that Moloch is there, and the fact that Moloch is in WikiLeaks, and the fact that it's a child sacrifice.
And the fact that the rumors are about...
Bro, it's all... I'm not... You got to join the dots, man.
Yeah.
You have to join the dots.
I speak to some people, and some people, they ask me, they go, how do you tell? How do you know who is and who isn't? I go, look, it's not always 100%.
It's hard, bro.
It's not always 100%. But
You got to be
it's
careful,
not,
bro.
But you look at, if anyone is doing anything to do with philanthropy, Google the definition of philanthropy for me. Okay? Pretty much they have direct access to kids because apparently they're using money to benefit. Look it up. I don't want to give a false definition.
We'll just use the first the dictionary. The desire to promote the welfare of others expressed especially by the generous donation of money to good causes. Yeah, so that's like your George Soros's, for example.
So you think of anything that's listed as a good cause.
Yeah.
You think of anything that's listed as a good cause for kids.
Yeah.
And now you're directly feeding little centers that have children there. You have direct access to kids.
Speaking of good causes, just go on Google and type antifa.com into Google and then watch what happens. Right before your eyes, I'll create magic. Watch. You ready? We'll go from antifa.com to boom, joebiden.com.
The fact that that's like a thing,
That's
and
a
people
full-
try and
I'm a magician.
You can't try and discredit Antifa
I
and all of
swear
that.
to God, let's go to court. You do that in court, you win. You win, bro.
No,
The
but this
fact
is
that
how...
that's a thing. That's a thing.
And George
You win.
Soros is behind Antifa. So George Soros hates Trump.
Yeah.
Look,
There-
I question Trump all
Yeah.
the time. I still question Trump.
Yeah,
and to be
100%.
honest with you boys, we got to be careful on who we really give our
I never
everything
follow
to.
Trump. I was guilty of that earlier.
Me
but
too.
Yeah, you
No,
gotta
me
be-
too. But now
You learn more every day.
you have to remember people in these positions of power with this much money and power behind them.
Anything goes.
You got to be hard. It's got to be hard to trust them, right?
100%.
Very hard. Like people here got the shit to ScoMo because he was on a break with his family and the fucking bushfire broke out.
Yeah.
Like this guy, we can't really hold these people too close to us because they're going to let us down.
Oh,
right?
look.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
It's a fact.
We've got to stick to some facts with Trump.
No, we do. We
We
do.
have to. Like for
Yeah,
example.
I'm not writing him off.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
Not writing
no,
him
no,
off at
no.
all. 100% agree with you. You have to
I'm still
question.
with him, but it's
have
not
to
an
question.
attach. I'm not like.
But you don't
I love
know.
him.
You don't know what's
Yeah,
next.
that's right.
You don't.
Put him and Biden next to each other and put the accolades that they've both achieved, whether it be in office or in business. Bro, Trump's got him beat every single time, right? He's better at the job. He's a good
100%,
president.
but-
Now, the problem is Trump says how he thinks sometimes and
Yeah.
it offends people.
Yeah, that's
and the
right.
problem is as a society, we're too...
We're too concerned with how things look and how things
No,
sound.
but we get broken by words too
Bro,
easily.
bro, that's
you know what I mean?
That's exactly.
And it's like, oh my God, guys, listen.
Yeah.
Because no one knows who they are.
Yeah, exactly. We're so fucking lost. Everything offends us. I'm not saying us, I'm saying in general. We're offended by everything nowadays.
No. But the thing is, it's because you've seen so much of Trump. It's because you've seen so much of him. You've grown up your whole life and you knew who Donald Trump was. I think I started knowing about him when I was like 9, 10, and I
I think The
started watching
Simpsons,
TV.
bro. The Simpsons probably...
Donald Trump,
Yeah, The Simpsons was
straight
solid,
away.
And that
you've
show,
known
what did he do?
forever, Donald Trump. It's because he's in his...
You're a fire. What was that show called?
Yeah, bro, but because people hated him on the back of his career on TV and all of that. People hated him off the back of that because of the way he spoke to people, because of the way he treated people, and because of the accusations he's accused of. Okay?
Yeah.
Not taken away from any of that.
Correct.
But no one knew who the fuck Joe Biden was.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who the fuck he was.
If you watch old videos of him,
And
you'll be surprised at what he says.
Bro, you go back, everyone's like, oh, Trump's a racist, Trump's this, Trump's that. Trump's done more for these communities than anyone. Biden's
Statistically,
actually
it's there.
written the bill that threw half of, or more than half of, African American
I know.
people in prison
Yeah.
for stupid lengths of time.
If somebody says Trump's a racist and they cannot produce evidence, bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, can I
Please.
just say, let me just say
Please.
something. I'll talk from my point of view. I won't say, I personally didn't like Donald Trump. I never used to like Donald Trump. But then when
Exactly
you
the same.
research and you find out information and you look at Facebook and you look at Twitter and you look at Instagram, you're not seeing a random feed.
No.
You're seeing a feed which is persuading you.
To not like him.
They're popping. You're going through your timeline and saying, Donald Trump, racist, this.
But you can
Hey.
start to pick up on the algorithm now. Have you ever been onto your
100%.
Explore page? I go on my Explore page sometimes and I'm seeing, posts of something that I don't want to see anymore. All I do is I go onto my Explore page, I click on a few things that I do want to see, I like them. Whatever I see that I want to see from now on and I was like it, I like them, I like them, I like them. Go back, refresh the page.
And it changes.
70% of the ones I was just seeing gone, and I've got new ones, bro.
Good idea. Hey, I just Googled Donald Trump. Trump's attacks on local officials are spreading hatred and inciting violence. Those words are inciting violence, right? This is just Google Donald Trump.
Mind you, just typed in antifa.com
Yeah.
and Joe Biden came
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
But read that.
Yeah. I literally went Donald Trump into Google and I went to the New Yorker.
Yeah.
I didn't do the first ones because these are I could have, but any news in Australia, anywhere, they'll rubbish him, they'll trash him.
100%.
Now-
I don't even think that's true. I never believe that.
Can I say
Supreme Court issue. Can you take a look?
Supreme Court issues 18-word rejection to Trump's election hopes.
Like my mate just messaged me that. Mitch Burt messaged me. He's like, it's not looking good, lad. The court rejected.
Yeah.
Look, boys. Look, the thing with Trump, right? From what I have read, I'm pretty sure this is true. He may have, during his business dealings, like fucked people over to get things done. Have you read that? Have you known about that?
Sorry, what was that?
Back in
Maybe,
the
but
70s,
I think in terms of
the 80s,
because
He what?
Trump did shit when he was in business, and he fucked people over to gain his positions.
Yeah.
Right. But now this is what people when they don't like Trump. These are some of the reasons why they don't. Okay. It's a general thing, but one of the reasons, because of this, and because he's a racist, and because he built a wall.
yeah, but before he got in office, he has photos with all the celebrities. They all used to love him.
Of course.
And
But
now he's in office.
oh, bro, they rubbish him
Tables
now.
have turned.
They hate him. But you look at Australian journalism, how it portrays Trump. First things first, the wall. Yeah, I'm gonna build a wall, make Mexico pay for it.
Can you just think about one thing? Just so can we stop on the wall for a second? Looking at what Trump did with the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. How think about how much that affected the safety of America during a breakout of a virus.
Not just that. The safety of America through trafficking of drugs, exporting of children, bro. The list goes on. But yes.
Look, I'm
stop
just
this
saying from the perspective of this year, but you started from the perspective of the
Correct.
5 years ago.
Correct.
Everything that you just said, 100%.
Correct.
But think about how many people entering the United States illegally,
yeah.
sick,
Yep.
dying,
Yep.
getting to a hospital and dropping bombs.
Correct.
All along the south of America.
Happens.
Destroyed.
Definitely.
Destroyed.
But not anymore with the wall,
Not
right?
anymore. The
But
wall
media won't post
save
it.
lives. Can't acknowledge it.
They won't. They'll
Can't
say,
acknowledge it.
they'll show.
It's racist.
Yeah.
It's racist.
Correct.
He's not letting people into our country. It's racist. But not at the mercy of what was happening to
Correct.
the
He's
country.
got 350 million people. He does not need more illegal people there. He
You
needs
don't
to
know
deal
how-
with.
You don't know how many of those people are actually straight up. from
Exactly. But see, the thing with the wall, the media here would only. And bro, back when this was first dropping with the wall, I didn't like Trump.
Say that's the same.
I didn't like Trump,
phase
and
I
this is
did.
all the. And I used to watch the news a lot then, but I only woke up recently. This isn't like I haven't.
Was that the YG song phase 2?
That phase of the YG
That's
and
what
the
it got
Mexico,
everyone that one.
the Mexico, but that was only one. That was only got the presidency. The wall, the Australian media would just show him saying, "I'm going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it," and then they'll show the clip of his rally where there's a black woman in there, and he goes, "Get her out of here." There's not a lot of context around that video, but there's a video, and all I remember from those moments is why I didn't like him, and it was all because of what I saw on the news. It wasn't because of my personal interaction, but personal research or anything like that. It was purely based on the news that I had seen.
70% of people only read news headlines.
That's a
Do you
very.
understand?
I believe that. I
So
fully believe that.
You think about someone just sees, the Washington Post put up
That's
this
what I
post
mean,
today.
bro. That's what I
They
mean.
read the news article.
And they know.
Fuck Trump.
But what they don't
Fuck
understand.
Trump excuses. They'll probably write black woman from
Yep.
See?
rally.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I used to be that. I used to. You know what? I used to do that, and sometimes not even read what I would send or post. And then
Yeah.
people started going, bro. Like, and not people. My brother actually pulled me up on it a few times because I'd send him shit.
Yeah.
Like, bro, did you read this? And then from that point, everything I read, I would digest everything
You have
perfectly,
to.
properly.
You don't
because
just send articles.
No.
See?
Because you're right. Because it's, you know what it is, JP? It's easy because you think the other person is just going to do the same thing and believe what you're saying,
But
right?
there's so many people that think they hate Trump
Yeah.
because of that. And that's what they don't understand, that Facebook is doing it to you on purpose. Instagram is showing you that on purpose.
You know what? I woke me up a little bit more, and I had to take a step back, and I got to watch the podcast that they did with him. But the guy who did that Netflix one, The Social Dilemma.
I haven't watched that yet.
Give it a watch.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's
Give
a
it
good watch.
It's a
but
good
then
watch.
I watched a video. Have you watched Connecting Consciousness?
No, no.
He talks about how a lot of it's true, but towards the end, they'll twist it. So they'll mix in truth with not truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, I think, so what I understand, it basically shows you how your footprint in the internet, like, is what you see in front of you, right?
It's kind of like
Nah, he tells you.
it kind of basically makes you aware that these companies
Yeah, they follow you.
not follow. If you're not paying for the product, you're the product.
Correct. Okay.
Okay.
That's
So-
a good. That's a very
okay,
important.
so-
If you're not paying for the product, you're the product.
You're the product.
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
That means that your information is being sold to other people so that they can gain your attention, so that they can try and take your money or whatever they're trying to do. You know
exactly
what I
what
mean?
they're
It's
doing.
exactly what they're doing.
So
Like it's
every
it's
post,
fact.
every post that you're on, there's a timer. The timer will tell you how long you're looking at that post for. You've got a camera; it'll pick up your engagement and see, what you do. It'll actually
this camera.
bro. This camera,
So they use the camera of data.
bro. Microphone.
It knows your
So,
emotion.
so I want to. Have you ever deleted Instagram recently?
Oh, not by choice.
Have you? Okay. delete the app.
Motherfuckers.
Delete the
Oh,
app.
the app. Yep, yep.
Delete the app and then log back in.
You don't have to do anything.
No. Go to try and post something on your story. You have to give them microphone access, and you have to give them camera access.
You funny
But
cunt. You do
there's
too.
There's no, only while using app. There's yes or no. Okay, you got to switch it on or off. And now you're having conversations. And brother, this has happened to every single fucking person I've ever spoken to. Every person. I've even had conversations with people about things. In my DMs, I'd had conversations with people.
Pops up.
And bro, the next day, all I'm seeing is this fucking post by this philosopher I was speaking to about
Yeah.
this guy last night, bro.
Hey.
From 50 different pages
That's
suddenly.
so weird. It happens to
But
me too.
out of nowhere.
You know what? I realized it in Google. Google was heaps, like a lot. When you start talking about stuff, it picks up. It listens, and then you look for, you Google something, and an ad pops up. You're like, what the fuck? Or you're on Instagram, and an ad pops up for something,
Bro.
So
Even Snapchat.
bro, the crazy thing is if that's true, right? And it's picking up everything we're doing and everything we're saying, and everything we're feeling. Is it not then just creating AI of
Nah, but
us?
It's database. At the moment, it's just all recorded
At the
information.
moment, it's just recorded.
It's just recorded information. But there's
But
100%
it's learning.
algorithms.
It's learning algorithms of humans.
100%.
It
A
shows us
computer
what we
is
want to
learning.
see before we know we want to see.
A computer is learning human algorithms and
That's
then
what the
showing.
show's about. That's what the show's
That's what
about.
the show's about.
It's about the
That's what I'm
development of the
saying.
Maybe I need
algorithm.
to watch it.
They know what they're showing you.
Yes.
But then,
like if you're showing me these things about Trump, and now I hate Trump, I've just become a soldier.
But
for them,
it's the other way around as well. So the way they screw the way they bias the whole movie is basically they have these protesters that are in the park and they're protesting something that they've seen online, and they directly mention Pizzagate. They actually dropped the Pizzagate shit, yeah. And now what they're saying is where the algorithm started to work against these technology companies is now the algorithm is picking up on posts that are only coming up about Pizzagate, and it's feeding that person posts that it's only saying about these. So they're becoming, how do you say it?
like
Extremists.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that's all people are seeing. So now you started having the biggest punch-ons with mates you never thought you'd actually have these fucking punch-ons about, because he's seeing posts about why he hates this guy, and all you're seeing is posts about why you like this guy.
Well, that's so fucking weird because,
Yeah.
bro, you know what? in the period of like the wake up, and I was looking at all the Pizzagate stuff and look at all.
Bro, I was getting G'd up every day.
It was every day.
Yeah,
It was a lot.
I was getting triggered. And
Hey, it was a lot.
I actually acknowledge. I apologized to a few people. I was like, man, you know, I might have been a bit intense, but I understand why now. Like, and then as soon as they shut it all
Holy
down,
shit, JP, that's so
think
crazy.
about what's happened in the last 3 months. You don't talk about it as much. There are people coming and asking you about it.
We forgot about that furniture company.
You know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
You completely forgot.
Holy
That's what I
shit.
mean.
You
So you
completely
need
forgot.
that's what I'm saying. You need to recognize
Yandu, bro.
how
That
they do
fucking
it.
Russian search engine and all that shit, bro. You just, bro, you know what? I actually haven't thought about what happened. Brother, one name you haven't heard in the longest time. Epstein's, what's her name?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine
I
Maxwell.
forgot her name.
That's
what
what-
happened to
Ghislaine
her.
Maxwell.
Didn't she was supposed to go
Bro.
to court 2 months ago? bro.
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something? On that subject, right, bro? I have to talk about Q. Okay,
Bro, yeah.
I have to talk about
Yeah.
Q.
What was that? I haven't seen that. Ghislaine Maxwell to file new motion to release on bail.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you don't hear
She's
about
going on
that.
bail.
How
She's
the-
getting bail.
Yeah, she's getting bail, bro.
Ghislaine Maxwell to file a new motion for
Yeah,
release on
listen,
bail,
bro.
according
I
to.
wonder if she's out of like
Dots-
suicide watch, bro.
They
I
need
wonder
to,
if she's out of
dots need to
suicide.
be connected.
Okay, hang on. Can I ask one question? This is just I question everything now. I question Q. I question Trump. I question everything.
Yeah.
I have to, bro.
You
It's
have
now.
to.
This has
Yeah,
taught me to do
It's
that.
ingrained in you now. That's
100%,
it.
bro.
Yeah.
Like I even question Mount Franklin, like this water. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says
Oh, yeah, I've
100%
done the
sourced.
research.
Where the fuck? Show me, cuz.
I swear to God, I've looked up. I've tried to
By
look
the
up
way,
fluoride. I've got fluoride and that.
water is now tradable on Wall Street. You can trade
You're
water.
joking.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Okay, can I ask you one
It's meant to
question?
be-
Yeah, but
So
I question everything.
That means there's a limited supply.
That's a fucking crazy thought.
That means there's a limited supply because things are only valuable if there's not
Oil,
enough of them.
gold.
What if you've sold people the
Currency.
illusion that there's none, and then you could make it a currency, and then it's forever.
Hey, but
ending?
Chinese companies been buying up water here.
They buy water everywhere, but they stopped buying Australia.
Yeah, but no, they did.
Honestly,
They
we
bought this
actually
year.
don't know what's in this.
All right, but what I wanted to ask you before I forget, we're talking about the water. The Q, right? Where are the indictments? Where are the mass arrests? I'm waiting, bro.
100%. But I think this all needs to play out. Trump needs. This is what.
How
this
long
is just opinion.
How long's it been since the election?
But he's
But
not
he's
in
a fucking
office.
cunt head.
officially.
Beginning of November, right?
3rd of November.
3rd of November.
Last Q drop was on the 13th of November.
Al Gore was president elect
For 45 days or
for
so.
37 days.
Yeah, that's right.
The country was celebrating Al Gore as
I
president.
remember. I'm not remember, but I
Supreme
read
Court
about this. Yeah.
Supreme Court overturned the ruling by 400 votes.
Yeah.
It went back to George Bush.
That's right.
Then they did another recount and it went back to what's his name.
Yeah.
And then the Supreme Court stepped in and said, no, it's George W. Bush. And they ruled out some other fucking thing
So anything's on the
by
card.
400
Well,
votes.
that's
Think about
what-
how many 400 votes is, bro. 400,
Well,
400 votes is my primary school.
100%.
So the people of my primary school,
That's so
the people of my primary
One
school could
primary
have
school.
shifted the results of an entire election. Bro, that's fucking ridiculous.
But bro, you know, on
No,
the
no,
election,
but say-
JP, on the election, but there is evidence of voter fraud. There is
That's
actual
what
evidence.
makes me
100%.
Okay,
There's
so
a 1,000,000,000% evidence.
If there is evidence of voter fraud, we'll call it 1,
Yeah.
2, 5, 10
Yeah.
states, however many states, we'll call it one fucking state,
Yeah.
right? The integrity of the vote is completely fucked. It's changed.
There's a funny meme going around. I don't know if you've seen it. Joe Biden's getting he's getting some award at the Vatican for the biggest miracle ever performed. He performed
saw it.
miracles to
I
bring
saw
people
it.
back to vote.
No, the best thing I saw, he was
doing that.
he was
There's
holding a
one-
turkey.
There was one him at the funeral home doing that, thanking everyone who voted for him.
The best was the 4th of July. It was him holding a turkey for Thanksgiving, and he said his head. It said "Happy 4th of July."
Right.
Fuck me,
All
Dad.
right, but let's pretend.
Bro,
let's
but
just
yeah.
pretend for a second.
Bro, there was no one at his rallies. He had the most votes in American history.
Can we talk
He beat
about
Obama.
that? Can we talk about that?
He
Yeah,
beat Obama.
he met the first black president in the world in the history of the United States. Me and Christian were talking about this before you got here, bro. So if you pay close attention to Joe Biden's rallies, which I'm sure you already
Yeah.
have, it's just all brand new Jeeps, and they've just literally hired Jeeps, and there's like 3 people in
This is on
fucking
Channel
each
9.
car.
I seen this.
Yeah, and
Would have been all channels, but
and I saw a guy actually pause the video and go through with video and show you the Jeeps, and you're like, yeah, right. So Biden's getting, call it 150 people. Let's call it 500
Yeah,
people,
because
bro.
he's following the rules of COVID.
Let's call it 500 people. Trump's getting easy 10 to 15,000, right? Did you see the parade outside Washington
because
DC?
they go.
1 million
crazy.
people.
Woodstock.
1 million.
Woodstock was there, cuz. there was Woodstock. Like,
1 million people turned up, didn't they?
Crazy.
Yeah.
So Trump has the support. We know he has the support.
Yeah.
Everybody's always known he's had the support. That's why he always talks about the silent majority. They did it in the 2016 election, and he'll do it. They had to fuck the numbers because they couldn't take the middle America,
But
right?
the only thing is, because they were accused so hard by the Democratic Party over what happened in the last election. Bro, fucking for 2 years you thought Russia was involved with the last election. For 4 years they've actually tried to denounce this guy was actually elected properly. But you're willing, after everything you've seen over the last 12 months, after every fucking thing that's... Bro, Hunter Biden and the fucking shit that was dropping.
And the laptop.
They fucking found his laptop. Okay,
laptop
the
was, mate,
shit
these people
that
love
it
a laptop.
connected him with, and you're telling me the guy still got more votes than Obama.
Yeah,
Get
see?
the fuck out of here. Look, you're still questioning
let's
whether
pretend-
Trump got elected properly last time, bro.
Let's pretend Biden's a great guy, and we just know the videos of him with taking photos with girls.
Oh my God, the sniffer.
Like everyone's seen those videos.
He should
bro.
work
There
for the
was cars-
police. He's a good sniffer.
There was cars
Dog.
in America where they had big videos.
Yeah.
Bro, 10 foot, 20 feet videos of Biden, like calling him a creep, calling him a pedophile.
Yeah.
Like America, no.
Yeah.
But the media put out these articles,
They
so
shutter
we
it.
think that what they're saying is happening, but
Correct.
it's not happening.
You know, the thing with Biden too, the people that that voted for Biden because they hate Trump, not because they support Biden, right?
Yeah,
this is
that's
an interesting
true.
point,
That's
right?
true. Have you seen... Sorry to cut you off.
No, go.
Go.
No, okay. All right. So, and this is literally, bro, following all this stuff, you can see the hatred, especially the Antifa and Black Lives Matter people. They hate Trump. Like, they detest saying his name. They support Biden and they support Kamala Harris because they don't like Trump.
That's it.
Right? Obviously, we know that if Biden actually gets it, Kamala Harris is going to be the next prime president of the US in 6 months to 9 months, right? She has fucked her way to the top, and she has been on multiple cases arresting people for like heinous arrests.
Straight racism.
Yeah. Full bad.
Straight racism.
Full bad. And everyone just overlooks it, and then they look at Joe Biden and they go to him because they don't like Trump. It's like, well, if you actually pay attention to the economy of the US and what he's done for that economy pre-COVID, mate, leaps and bounds over anyone. Not one bomb in 4 years. Not one war.
No, there was one bomb. One bomb Saudi Arabia. I remember at the beginning of this year, he blew up and he killed Soleimani.
Sorry, not one war.
Not one war. He withdrew troops from America. He's actually saving
Correct.
lives. Like,
Obama-
no one's going to war. He's not spending $2 trillion in the last 4 years on a war. Okay, but have you seen the video that they're going around? This was 2-3 days before the election, or maybe it was election day. I was watching it for Australia. Okay, you know, they were going around with quotes from Biden. They're just walking up to random people on the street. They're reading quotes from Biden. Can you imagine your president saying this? And they're like, no, I can't believe that this guy would even be running. They don't know who it is yet. Like, I would never vote for that person. If that's what this kind of guy was saying, that I don't understand why people
No, I
are
didn't
voting
see
for him.
these.
And then
Wow.
they go, oh, yeah, that was Joe Biden. They go, oh, yeah, we'll probably still vote for him.
Yeah,
see?
wow.
Bro,
That's what I mean.
They actually,
That's the
because
deception, bro.
they thought it was Trump. Bro, it was these ridiculous quotes
heard
that
some-
no
I've
one-
heard some of them.
And he has said some of the most disgusting things.
Yeah, he's a
alright?
full racist, bro.
Okay, full racist.
He played
Okay?
Despacito at a fucking rally.
Bro, they go, read like, there was 15 different people. Only one of two of them were like, you know what, you've actually just swayed me. I'm going to vote for Trump if that's what this guy's saying. Yeah? But the rest of them were like, oh, no.
Yeah.
We don't like the way Trump is. We don't like...
Yeah, see?
Because that's the narrative, bro. Like you were saying
But
before.
I think it's like there's this story that I read recently, and it's like this teacher walked into class, and she did her 9 times table on the board. But first one, she goes 9 times 1 is 7. The rest of them she all got right. Class laughed at her. She goes, kids, you're right. I wrote this on purpose, but this is a lesson. You can get 9 things wrong. People will scrutinize you for 1 thing wrong. So
Correct.
the guy does 1 thing that people don't like, but they're overseeing all the good that he's done.
Correct. Like I just Googled Obama bomb drops, and it says America, but it was his order. But I'm going to change that from America to Obama. Dropped 26,171 bombs in 2016.
A
Bloody end to Obama's reign.
So he left the keys to the castle to Trump after dropping 26,000 bombs, and goes, "Here you go, mate. all yours.
And see how they can, but see, and this is what I
Bro,
mean,
but
when
what's
you
tr-
connect the
Bro,
dots.
Trump got a Nobel Peace Prize award this year for peace in the Middle East.
Yeah, but not only that, he patched things up with Middle East. He patched things up with North Korea. The first thing he did, bro, he goes and shakes his hand. Like,
Yeah, that's right.
I don't remember the last time
It's on
anyone's
that
ever done
map
that.
too,
no one.
I can literally read it. Look on the bottom of Q. And Korea peace.
Oh yeah, there it is. So people that don't like Trump,
He knows it back to
Yeah,
front.
yeah.
No, I know that one because, like, bro, that happened. Like,
no, but like dead set, boys. I guess we're not here trying to like make Trump the be all and
king,
end all of
yeah,
everything.
yeah, no.
He has his flaws, like we all
not.
do. But if you look at the facts and what he's done for the US, and it's important for the world to understand and acknowledge how important the US is for the whole world. And if Trump doesn't keep doing what he's doing, we're all going to feel it.
Yeah.
We're all going to feel it. And no one really, we're going to feel it. You fucking watch. So it's crazy to just see how the narrative just sort of funnels the people into just one form of belief. And that's because these platforms are so big.
Yeah.
These tech platforms are so big. Like you've heard of Parler, have you?
Yeah.
No, what's Parler?
Parler's a new
But I don't
app,
think
but
it's
it's
censored.
no, and it's not. It's apparently right wing now, and others are left, right? So Liz Crokin got banned from
Yeah.
Instagram, right? The lady from Outer Shadows, she's gone on Parler. Most of the people that are being kicked off Instagram and stuff are on Parler now.
That'd be interesting to see, but the only thing
Yeah.
is I don't want to have another social media.
Yeah, I'm not
account,
doing
bro.
it. I
No,
can't
look,
do it, bro.
I have the account.
Oh, but I guess it'll be good. It's not censored.
I just like to see like what else
It's
is on
not
the other
censored.
side.
I think it's not censored.
No,
That's
no,
why
no.
they all make the switch.
It's not censored, but the people that are there all like minded.
What is it, like an Instagram or a Twitter?
I'll show you. It's sort of a bit more like Twitter. You know that guy Tommy Robinson from the UK?
Not really, no.
He's this big.
I probably know his face.
He's a guy. It was a video going around of a guy that was getting arrested for bashing a pedophile who tried to touch his daughter in public. That's the guy. So this is like, it's a lot of Q stuff. Oh, there you go. Look, Q, TikTok. But this is it. It's sort of like Twitter and Instagram modeled together. This is if you need stuff for the Q drops or information about the shit that we're into. This is where it is, right? But I can't keep up with. There's too much, bro. Fucking this and that and all the social.
I'm kicking back to watch it play out, but
Yeah, man. I think it's just the people that, and look, I think actually one person hit me up on Instagram, and I want to talk about this. We spoke about it before. There's a verse in Revelation about the mark of the beast getting in your forehead or in your hand, right? And I was saying before, I think we're moving into sort of darker times. This whole vaccine, this whole mask thing, it sort of gives me that mark sense feeling. It's like that's the mark. It's like the people that don't wear the masks are out, especially in the US, bro. We see it heaps more in the US because it's still rife through there. But it's now creating this, I feel it, bro, like this vaccine. There was a thing about the RFID chips in the vaccines. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was a guy from,
Yeah, I think I've
it
seen
was on the
it.
news talking about it. He was talking about the vaccines. They can have an RFID tracker in it.
that can activate.
So and not just
What do
that,
you mean?
it's got its own code. So
What do you mean? They know where you are.
So it's the vaccine looks like a syringe, but it's got this little bit attached to it. I don't think that bit goes in you, but that bit is attached to your dose.
Yeah.
So once they give you the dose, it links up with the serial number. So if they run that serial number, it's able to track your information somehow, something like that. I can't remember exactly. Let me try and find it.
I heard you were going to have a card, or you're going to have some sort of like passport.
You just become like a.
I thought it was just going to be like a passport thing. Your passport has your like your dosage number on it.
Is that not a
A kind of
mark, bro?
It's a mark.
It's a mark, right? It's a mark to signify that yes, I am, in my opinion, compliant, or yes, I am vaccinated. Yes, I am clear. I'm clean,
But
right?
no, you know what it is as well. It's kind of going back to what you were saying about how like they're running a test. They need to populate 20%.
Right,
so
bro.
now they have you as a serial number. You're a number to them now. Okay, and now you're part of their tests.
Yeah.
Let's say
And-
I personally give me 5 years. Let me see what it has on the effect of the population in 5 years. Let me see where the world's at in 5 years. I might start to consider thinking about taking it.
But like,
why would you take it?
why? Yeah.
Are you worried about the consequences
Like,
of
has
it?
anything happen?
No. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. But if I want to start leaving Australia, you know what I mean?
Okay.
If I want to start exploring the world, if I want to start going overseas and doing things that I've always dreamed about doing, going and living overseas somewhere like that, and it's holding me back from shit like that, fuck it, bro. I'm gonna die one day. I've got to live my life.
So
Fuck it.
that's
one thing you got to look at. But you can't sit there and let it dictate for the rest of your life. Oh, look, it's ruined it. What are you gonna do? Like bro. I know 100,000 people, million people that will take that, but if it means they can go overseas.
Yeah,
I know, but bro,
I can understand.
All right, I'll think about it maybe, but I don't think it's going to end up well. Personally, my bias is that the reason that I'm going to wait is because I need to see what happens first.
Yeah.
And I'm usually an impatient person.
Yeah, 5 years is a long time. Straight
yeah.
out.
Look. Domestic travel here is allowed, right? That's a good sign
For now.
We're like 45 days or something with no COVID or something like that. I don't know. I think
Oh, really?
we're COVID free. I don't
That's
know.
in Sydney.
everything's
In Australia,
back
no, in Australia.
going, like,
Do you
limits
think we're gonna get another
weddings
wave?
and that.
Bro, you know what?
Do you think winter next year we start to get another wave?
No, I think
Well,
this
now
will
that
dis-
it's- now
I'm calling it'll disappear in the next 3 months.
I don't know, but now that it's here, it can come back whenever it wants. Don't forget that.
That's what I mean.
They're saying that, yeah, like you said, it mutates and stuff like that. People can catch it twice.
Yeah,
Apparently.
but bro, not just that. It's now they've done the test run. They saw how the people handled it. Right? What did we want? What did we do? We ran and got toilet paper. That's all we did.
Yeah.
That's all we fucking did. Everyone went and got toilet paper and sat in their fucking houses worrying.
You know what, man? It might be a good idea to just start investing in one now, just in case wave
Straight
3
out.
comes. 'Cause,
Buy,
you know,
go invest in an ABC
bro, you
toilet
know,
paper.
even when round 2 started to hit Sydney, bro, toilet paper was flying off the shelves again.
But bro,
so, like,
yeah,
people learned their
randomly.
lesson the
No, but the thing with that,
lesson the first time.
what if they were using that as a guide to say, right, let's see what they do. Right, yep, boom, let's lock it down a bit more. Melbourne was the test, right?
Yeah.
Melbourne was the real test.
Yeah.
How far can we push these people?
Fucking
How
hell.
hard can we take this?
Do you think that could have pulled that off in Sydney?
No, I don't think so.
No, you know what? Straight out, I don't think so.
No,
Bro, I think,
you know
yeah.
what?
Look,
I've been to Melbourne. I like the people of Melbourne. I've seen the people of Melbourne. They're really cool. They're really chill people. I don't know about Sydney, but maybe I don't
we're
know
too
the people in
crazy
Melbourne.
here, bro.
Maybe I don't know the
There's
people in
too many
Melbourne.
crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
There's too many people
No, I know.
on rack
Look,
here. Straight
I-
out. That's the first thing.
I speak
in
to
Sydney.
yeah.
Too many people on rack.
Yeah.
That's it. You can't keep people on rack in their homes away from rack. You
Yeah,
can't.
no.
You can't, bro.
Doesn't
You
end well,
cannot
bro.
fucking do it. So no, I don't think it would work here, bro. I think that the fact that construction continued, we never talked about this properly. Construction was allowed to continue.
Yeah.
Because the government realised that's the only thing that keeps this fucking economy going,
Bro,
right?
it drove like they said. Even
they
Melbourne,
probably have a million jobs.
Melbourne, if you were a construction business, you had an excuse to be on site, but your site force was dramatically cut.
Yeah.
Dramatically cut. But construction was still the only allowable.
Bro,
continuation.
I'm a broker, right? So when mid-pandemic, lenders are like knocking out industry. So if you were a hairdresser, no. Nail salon, no. Tattoo shop, no. Boom, boom, boom. But construction, no problem. Why?
Really?
Because in New South Wales, the government gave 7-day permits to work, right?
I'm going to give you a call after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 days,
I need to-
7 days a week, you could work, right?
Yeah.
And there was actually no COVID restrictions at all. You could work freely. You're on site
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah, I
Yeah,
was
there's
on
nothing. So why would you risk, if the virus was so deadly, why would you risk the builders and the construction workers in New South Wales and what, they're not going to spread it? They're just going to go straight home after work?
You know, government officials still aren't back at work.
Are you serious?
Yeah, bro, we built that tower for PS Parramatta, the building with
What?
the blue W on it.
What?
That building's been empty for 1 year.
What?
Yeah, they're not back at work yet.
Why?
They've got a small task force back, but that's it. I think they might have gone back when they announced 0 cases, but government workers were the first to go back. And I was speaking to someone who works there, and they were telling me, man, we might not be back till next year if things don't clear up.
It's
We're
crazy.
the first to go and last to go back.
But you know what? Just hear me now. Back to the point about people being separated from the human to human interaction. A lot of businesses now are leaving people to work from home. It cuts costs, right? You don't have to have a massive infrastructure with 300 people, for example. You can cut it back to half, and then the rest can work from home.
Have you
It
guys
is-
seen Parramatta Road lately?
Oh, bro, I travel
What,
on
bad?
it most days.
Bro, how many businesses bought it up?
Oh my god, terrible.
Bro,
It's fucked.
I noticed it when I was driving to
Yeah.
Alexandria.
A lot of businesses,
No, I
bro.
haven't.
A lot of but you know what's
Wow.
happening, JP, in Parramatta Road? It's just literally you'll see units go up every corner, bro.
Oh.
Every area they can. It
Surprise,
starts here,
surprise.
man. It starts here in fucking
Surprise.
Homebush and it goes all the way up. It
Units
won't-
everywhere.
Yeah,
Wherever
yeah.
they can get one, they're going to get one.
Yeah, that's it. Because
They can.
Parramatta's the new city. Parramatta's going to be the new
Have you
hub.
seen Parramatta? Have you been Parramatta Square?
Beautiful.
I built.
Like it?
It's
good.
like I was in Cabell.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I was actually the
Oh, God.
I was actually the engineer that did all that. I did all that bottom
ya?
level.
No way.
No way.
So you know the link into the train station?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or as soon as you walk out, you got Fishbowl, Betty's Burgers, Harvey's, all those.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I did all
No
that. I
shit.
was the engineer. I
Way.
did all that.
But so back
crazy.
to your
That's
vaccine,
big.
right? Let's talk about your vaccine. So if someone gets a vaccine so you're saying in a few years if it's good you'll take it. What if there's an aftershock? What if there's something?
See, I think it's something that
I think there
for
will
me,
be.
for me, there's something about it. Like if I'm going to take it, I think as a personal choice, it means I've stopped thinking about having a family and having kids. Because if there's going to be something in it, it stops with me. And like, I'm not.
Yeah, you're not going to be.
You know,
that
I'm not passing it on.
100%.
I'm not passing it on. You know,
That's an interesting
whatever.
point, bro. That's a big decision to make.
Maybe that's something that's crossed my mind. That might be a reason why I would take it, but I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, bro. That's
Because like I question the doctors a lot now, especially.
Look, I have family members who are doctors. My cousins' wives. We have discussions on our family WhatsApp chat. It gets intense.
Yeah.
You know what I
I've got
mean?
a cousin who's a pharmacist.
And I'm not disparaging anything they have to say. I'm not disagreeing with anything
Correct.
they have to say. They
Exactly,
see
yeah.
what it's like, and they've probably been in hospitals and they're seeing what it's like.
Yeah.
But I still have to form my own opinion, and
Definitely.
I take their opinion completely valid, and everything they tell me I value and appreciate. But I still have to mix it in with what I understand about the way the world works in my head.
Bro, I agree with you 100%. I look at some forms of like medicine and whatnot, and I don't always agree, but I'm not a doctor, right? But
Yeah.
sometimes you look at doctors and they have a completely different view on things. Like big one's marijuana. Some doctors are just completely nut, and some are like, yeah, take it. So it's always a touchy subject when it comes to medicine because they're so people that have studied it. The doctrine that comes behind it is like years and years and years of history.
Yeah.
And this is what they're researching and studying.
It's scientific data, though.
As well, correct. Yeah.
And that's one thing about science. Like there's this thing called the philosophy of science, and it starts the question about how some experiments can only be tested up to the point of hypothesis. And then after that, they're not really valid. But
Yeah,
you
I've heard
take
about
it
this.
And you base these assumptions off it.
Yeah.
So you've got a whole scientific community and a whole scientific system that's built up off of this information. And it's
That's
fine,
legit.
and it's worked for us, and I'm not disagreeing with some of it. Some of it's really good. But there's a line where that is drawn in the sand for me.
Yeah.
And when you start to introduce other medicines like kinestheology or something like that,
Yeah.
I bumped into an old mate
It
of
was
mine.
like kinetic
today.
energy or something.
He deals with talking directly to your subconscious.
Oh, wow.
With the foods that you eat and how you move your body and how you talk and getting the vibration of all your organs on par, not just the vibration of your head, because you identify
shit.
with your brain, but there's all these other mechanisms in your body that's taught in Chinese and ancient medicines.
Bro.
But Western medicine is defected from that a lot, but a lot of these systems work as well. Me personally, if I can avoid taking Panadol, I avoid taking Panadol.
Me too.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
I smoke a doobie.
No, but I know what you're saying. I've been reading into a lot of that lately.
Yeah.
Bro, so like back to your point, and that's an interesting point actually, bro. Medicine and research and data, like data I never really questioned much of the stuff until all this stuff started coming out, especially with COVID data. That's where it's really got me questioning. But more with, bro, like you're right with the science and how you can't, scientific data is not, I'm not sitting here saying that you have to refute it. Always question the data, but certain things, bro, like we all know our own bodies sometimes, and a lot of the times the doctors will just say, oh no, just take that. Just take that white tablet. Just go get that and just take that. Like for example, I had this like fungal infection in my skin.
Yeah.
But I couldn't work it out. Went to this doctor, gave me the right shit. It looks to be cleared, right?
I might have to go and see him. I've got something going.
Yeah, I had like these spots on my back and shit, bro. Like it was weird, like
Yeah,
dry
I've got something
skin.
under my arm.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. It might be that.
Cyst.
Oh, well, I don't know about that before.
Oh no.
I don't know if he can help you with that. No, but what I'm trying to say is I spoke to him, he looked at it, he goes, you know what, give that a go. I looked at what I was taking and it made sense, I took it and it worked. And it was like one was a tablet and one was this other thing to actually like a lotion. But then there's other things where you would tell the doctor something and they won't really know, but they'll still prescribe you with like an antibiotic. And I was like, bro.
That's the theory side that they just learn.
That's what it is, man.
They
It's
just
like,
learn that to do that, but like they don't question
correct.
it. They just
It's right. It's just like, yeah, just take that, man. You should be right. If you don't feel better in a week, come back. It's like, well, bro, you haven't fixed my problem. This is what you think. This is sort of where I'm like, with doctors and medicine, I get a bit iffy, right? Because a white tablet isn't just going to fix all your problems. That's what a lot of the medicine is pushed on, especially now, bro.
I rarely go doctors, bro. If I can avoid
I've
it,
been for ages,
I
yeah.
do not go.
No, I went. My son was getting his vaccines. It was the day he was getting his vaccines.
Yeah, you
actually,
gotta go for
so
that.
I was with him, and I was like, "Oh, look at it." And yeah, but, anyways, boys, fuck, have we covered?
How long has it been?
We're going an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Have we got any more to cover?
Bro, there's so
much.
Oh,
You could go anywhere, but it
you
just
could. But I think I don't know. These monoliths. What do you reckon about them?
What do I reckon? Look, I've got two theories. Theory number one, it's definitely 100% aliens, and they're getting ready to expose themselves to us.
following that article too.
Yeah, and it's now just because we're seeing so much of it now. The Pentagon releasing images and footage of the UFOs this year. I think we are now in the point where they're either just trying to reveal themselves, or it's some group of people just causing a fucking ruckus.
Mucking around.
Just
But
to,
they're
just
in
to,
the weirdest spots. That's a lot of effort to cause a ruckus,
Yeah,
bro.
but the only thing is, bro, like, what does it mean? What the fuck's a monolith? Like, what is it?
do we know what the actual material is?
Well, but at this stage, it could be photoshopped.
If they said it was element 115, if it was made out of element 115, do you know what that is?
Yeah, the stuff that makes the vehicles fly.
The UFOs fly. Because you got to look up element 115.
In the US and in Europe, they reckon. But like, what
they found one in
does it
Amsterdam.
mean? What does it mean?
Well, you're not going to find the answer here, that's for sure. You can't just Google what's the meaning of them.
100%.
You know what I mean? Some journalist.
What are people?
Well, I
taking
think
it-
it's this.
Why does it automatically mean aliens? You know what I mean? What is this big metal post that's in the middle of
You know
nowhere
what?
automatically
That's a
mean?
great point.
Are
It's
we
just
just
weird
making?
because they're disappearing. But
Look, but you look at crop circles, and crop circles have been popping up for years. No one
What
thinks
the
crop
fuck
circles.
are crop circles?
Like, you know what I mean? They actually fucking happen sometimes.
But what are they?
Do they actually happen?
Actually.
I don't know what
no
they
one
say.
can describe it. It's a weird image that
But it's
forms.
denied. It's actually said, bro, like they're fake. Like, yeah, these guys are just walking into the thing in the middle of the night.
But who denied it? Same people that
See,
are
the
lying on the news. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's a very, very weird thing. It's pretty big too. Look how big it towers over them. See, okay. If someone is doing this, they can easily dig into the sand.
What's 10
right?
foot? What's 10
10
foot?
foot, 6 meters or 4.5 meters, I think.
4.5 meters. A 10-foot shiny metal object was shot.
10 foot?
Yeah.
10 foot.
Well, that's
Shiny
they're
metal
6
object.
foot.
No, scroll down. It says in the thing 10,
Oh, yeah.
10 foot
Yeah,
shiny
yeah.
metal
So they're
object.
men,
was
6 foot men. So they're going to be like,
It was hundreds of people to the remote spot. After 7 days, monolith was removed by a group of locals concerned about the environmental damage. So people there took it, but where'd they take it? Maybe they're the new.
it's sort of like the Bermuda Triangle thing.
Maybe they're the new obelisks.
What's
You know,
the-
there's an
yeah.
obelisk in every city.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe they're the new ones.
But what's the Bermuda Triangle thing?
Ah, man, I don't know about that.
Wasn't it? It was like this part of the air in the world where planes would just disappear
Yeah,
out of nowhere.
it is. But there's people who turn around and say it's on a ley line, and there's ley lines. So I don't know if you've heard about ley lines and
No.
all that kind of stuff. So a ley line, there's natural lines of energy that flow through the earth, and a lot of the monuments and like Uluru.
Yeah.
Uluru's on a conjunction, on a joint of the ley line. So these are big energy points on Earth. So you look at the pyramids; they're all built on ley
Wow,
lines.
so
I
like
think I've read
significant.
So
Sedona?
apparent- I think Stonehenge. I think there's all these energy points.
Stonehenge is really fucking weird.
There's all these different
Are
places.
the Georgia Guidestones in there?
I wouldn't be able to tell you about.
Can
that
you
one.
feel it if you go there?
I don't know.
Do you know about
I
the Georgia
don't know.
Guidestones?
I know about the Georgia Guidestones.
You know about them?
No.
A lot of people don't know. You don't know about the Georgia Guidestones?
Oh,
Bro, you're
guys,
joking.
guys,
Sorry,
guys.
go on.
Bro, you know what? You know how much your brain's going to click over after you read this?
Oh, you're gonna freak
I
out,
love
Christian.
this shit,
It's
bro.
gonna,
'cause
you
when
know
I
what?
learn
You're
something
actually,
new,
you're
I'm
actually
like,
just going to
"Ooh."
go like this. You understand exactly what happened this year.
Okay. So these, I've got to go back through this and show people the images. But the Georgia Guidestones, this is what they look like. Massive. Now they've got different languages. I think it's. I can't even remember what the
16 languages.
16 or 17 languages, something like that.
16 languages.
All on different sides. But I'll find you so they. I don't think anybody knows. No, they do know where they originated from, don't they? They do. They do know where they came from. So when did they appear? 22nd of March, 1980. So what are the 10 guidelines on the Georgia Guidestones? So they're guidelines. Maintain humanity under 500 million in a perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Guide reproduction wisely. That's a very, very interesting.
Vague. That's a vague term.
We'll get back to that one. Improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language.
Like it's happening.
Yeah.
Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith. Rule.
Yeah.
Rule.
Rule the
Passion, faith, tradition, and all things
things.
with tempered reason. Okay. That's an interesting
More
one. too.
items. More items. Click on more items, please.
Protect people and nations with fair laws
And court.
and courts. Is that what it said? Oh, we just lost it. Fuck.
Should be maybe a link connecting to it.
Hold on, folks. We'll get back to it. Wait.
Yeah. So
We got up to.
fucking mental, bro. Fucking mental.
Okay, here it is.
Because I can. It's
Like
There it
maintain.
is.
Oh, how are we going to maintain humanity, bro? Vaccinate the whole population.
Everyone's speaking the same language.
Oh.
That's a vaccine.
That's a vaccine, brother.
Hold on, boys. I need to find it because it's very important. Georgia Guidestones. Text. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the text. What? English. All right, so Georgia Guidestones. Where do we get up to? Court. Here it is. Let all nations rule. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Wow, that's interesting. Avoid
Rule
petty laws.
What does that say? Let all nations
Rule internally, resolving
ex-
external disputes in a world court.
Cool.
That's interesting. I think that talks a little bit to New World Order, but we
I
can
think
get into
that's
that.
UN at the moment, man.
Yeah, it could be. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. That's a questionable one. Balance personal rights with social duties. So vague, bro. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature.
I'm confused with that one.
So do you guys know, you saw the David Attenborough thing on Netflix, the recent one?
What was that? People were freaking out about that.
Yeah, basically towards the end of it, we only have like a small percentage of natural forestry left because we've deforested so much of it. Basically, he's like, look after the earth and stop having kids. Like, minimize your kids.
Is that
One
what he
kid.
said?
Bro, it literally says have one kid. Not like he doesn't say just have one child. It's just insinuated to just have one child each couple.
Why?
To preserve the earth because there's too many of us on the earth.
We're growing at a rapid rate.
So I have my questions. Not questions. I don't know how I feel about that one.
I want to know where it kind of skyrocketed because there was a point where it was only like 4 billion and then it just kind of just started.
The world's population.
Yeah.
Bro, look at nations that, like for example, all right, use Lebanon. Lebanon, they have most of them have 4 or 5 kids, right?
Yeah.
Big family.
And then like,
there's still not a lot of us. Like,
No,
you look
no.
at China, you
Yeah,
look at
small
but look at like
population.
Saudi Arabia, look at Israel, look at all the Middle East. A lot of the Islamic countries, they have more kids than like
Yeah.
they have like 8 or 9 kids
Yeah.
sometimes. So there's a lot there. China have 1 kid each. I don't know how Russia works with their.
But the thing is, how did the population explode? Them in India, 1.4, 1.3 billion each.
Well, bro, India's in a similar boat. They reproduce quite a lot too. That's why there's so many of them
That's why
throughout
there's
the
so
world,
many.
right?
Of them. That's right.
They spread like rapidly.
But what about Chinese?
Well,
Because I was taught growing up that China you only allowed to have 1 kid.
that used to be the law, but that changed.
And there were rumors or like the story was like if you had a girl, it was usually put up for adoption or something like
There's all these stories. I don't know if the girl thing's true, but I know the
Yeah.
one child thing was actually a
that.
legit
Sorry
thing.
if that was a bit offensive, but yeah.
No, but that was actually a thing.
That's what I was told.
Yeah, that was the thing. But with China, I think China's got such a big population because they're such an old nation. Same with India. They've got history back to
Yeah.
however long, bro. And they don't it's not just China. Like they sort of trickled towards Siberia and they've
Yeah,
got
that's
that part, that region. And the history, and then coupled with however many people they have, the law now doesn't have any restrictions on how many people per household. So
Okay.
I think that's why there's so many Chinese people throughout the whole world. That law only came out, I think they ended that law. Let me look it up.
Recently, huh?
Like 5 years ago, I think, or 10 years ago.
You got to do all of that, bro.
Backstage.
Damn.
You got a backstage.
Child law, China. In note 13, following the third plenum of the 18th Central Committee of the CPC, China announced the decision to relax the one-child policy. 2013, 7 years ago, boys.
Wow.
7 years ago, you couldn't have more than 1 kid in China.
Isn't it?
So, like, if you busted a nut by accident, what happens? And there's a kid there,
It's fucked.
right?
It's fucked, bro.
Communists, bro. They don't have YouTube. They don't know what goes on here. They don't know, right? What UFC? Oh no, I was gonna say they don't know what the UFC is, but they do. That was a bit of a. But they don't know half the shit that we know. Just
probably-
general knowledge.
Probably better.
Honestly, so much fucking better.
We're trying to distinguish what's true, what's false, what's.
And their mind, everything's fucked up.
They're just hanging out.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that's probably why they have so many people. But bro, there is a lot of people on the earth. What's the magic bullet though? There's no silver. So what's a silver bullet? There's no real way to fix it, right?
No.
You can't tell people to stop having kids. Like, what if you
That's
accidentally
what
have
I
a
mean.
kid?
Like, bro, you joking? You can't.
What if you accidentally have? What if you just want to have 1 kid and then by accident you fall pregnant? What do? You know what I mean? You can't just.
Contraception. That's pretty much what they're saying. Get contraception.
But then you got to tie in the religious aspect too, then,
Yeah.
because that's when it gets a bit wishy-washy, right?
Yeah.
That's when it becomes a bit of like what's right and what's wrong. I don't know. We could probably spend another 2 hours talking
Yeah,
about that because
that's
that's a
right.
very deep topic. But back to the guidestones, we'll probably wrap it up soon.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Christian? Since you're the first one to, it's your first time reading about it.
I've only read a couple articles on it, but I don't know. They keep saying they said there was a couple. I think was it in Utah,
There was Utah.
It
There
appeared
was
and disappeared, or maybe that was a couple months ago, and then now they're tripping out again because
they're popping up. One in Amsterdam I saw. One in Europe. Look, I don't know, man. Guide reproduction wisely. That got me thinking. Yeah, real passion with tempered reason.
It's very, very, very new world ordery, eh?
Yeah, right. It's very vaguey, new world ordery.
yeah.
It's the world courts and all these things, and it sounds like such a beautiful
I
thing.
don't know, man. Like, there's so much fucking shit out there, and you're just like, bro, why does it exist? Why is it in someone's? Why is there a monolith dedicated to those 10 laws in so many different languages? Like,
should we maybe look up the history of it? We'll leave it for another time. I don't know. It's there's a lot of things like this in the world that are pretty. Like, there's just no real answer.
Yeah.
It's just a weird fucking thing. Bro, you can look at anything. JFK.
yeah.
Anything. Any incident. Anything like that. Twin Towers. Fucking, it's just question marks anyways. But
You got to question why there's question marks around all of them.
you have to,
That's
man.
when you start to understand more.
Like, people couldn't comprehend that the US government would do that to their own people. I question that. I think they probably did.
There's a few things.
They
Like
definitely
we said,
did.
9/11, all that kind of shit.
And then add to the resume lying about COVID numbers.
You could go on for hours.
recreating.
We're just trying to show
You know what I
people the facts. It's like, hey guys, this isn't the first time they've said something that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there,
Yeah,
right? And there you go. Have the evidence, digest it however you like. And if people want more, we'll give them more. I don't know. That's probably all we can do.
We'll wait to hear from the people, man.
Yeah, we have to. Because this is a good one, boys.
That's it. Thank you very much, boys.
Thanks for your time,
Pleasure,
boys. It was a pleasure. All right.